You are about to witness history in the making.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to show number 129 of the Pop Culture Gamers podcast. It's the 10th of August as we record this, and Steve and I are both back. Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
Yeah, I don't even know what planet we're on at the moment. We've been away for a while.
Yeah, you just said, it's been a couple of weeks since we last recorded, and the last time we recorded was actually the 22nd of August.
So, yeah, dementia has definitely set in then.
Yeah, definitely there. So, it's been a long time, and we've just been literally discussing the current status of the show, and what we're kind of like looking at doing, certainly for the next probably couple of months, until things pick up, because it is a quiet time in video gaming at the moment. You know, it's getting better, but obviously COVID did have an impact, is we've been talking about just going to a fortnightly show for a few months, and we'll just have a review and see how things go from there. So we're going to be fortnightly for the moment, just because we've got a lot on as well and blah blah blah. But anyway, Steve, let's hear from you. How have you been doing?
Okay, I think I had some serious about flu. I don't know what I would call that, but that was that. But yeah, it's been very quiet. I mean, gaming sense, I can see what you've been about to say, but I get up sometimes when I do the night gaming, and I just don't feel like I'm got the energy for it sometimes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I feel like, particularly, I don't know if it's changing the season to autumn or what, but at the moment, I just kind of like finish work and think I can't be bothered.
I mean, obviously, there's things grinding to do, people to see in that sense of things, but
yeah,
you know, I can get that done. But it's really weird at the moment. Maybe it is just summer, winter, because it's just. You know, the nights are drawing in now. It's getting dark. Gas bills are going up. You know, there's nothing to look forward to at the minute. Christmas will be a disappointment because we'll have no turkeys.
Yeah.
We've had the fuel crisis.
Yes.
You know, it's like shit. What's going on?
I know it seems like a different world to the one that we left when we had our summer break. Feels like the world's gone mad a little bit, but yeah. So, have you got any news from your last several weeks?
I can't remember what we were discussing when we last did the show, to be honest. But I think I'll just tell about my doctor, didn't I?
No, didn't tell us about that.
I went to see the consultant regarding my lungs. So,
all right. How did that go?
Well, the bottom of them aren't pretty good because they've had a bit of damage.
Yeah.
But it looks like I'm going to be on this medication I'm on now for life for the moment.
Oh God, that's
because if I come off it, the percentages of me actually getting another clot is pretty high.
Wow.
Excuse me. So I'm going to have to keep popping the pills, unfortunately. Not what I wanted to hear, but you know what can you do? You know.
Yeah, but as long as it keeps you fit and healthy, that's the important thing, isn't it?
Well, there's twos and fours and against, and I told him that, and he did say there's some other medication I could take for my knee if I want, but you know. We'll see. I just keep chilling out, listening to music to get on the right side of the world in the life, really. And
yeah, well, I noticed that you'd ordered yourself the new Bond theme tune, which I'm sure we're going to be talking a lot about Bond today.
Yeah, I've got 2 copies.
2 copies?
Yeah, I got the picture disc, which is a 1-disc copy, and I've got the white vinyl double album.
Right, I just ordered the normal album, but I almost pushed the button on the picture disc. But I don't know, just something stopped me. But there seems to be 2 versions of the picture disc, because the one that I was looking at had Bond and the bad guy on one on each side, and one you seem to have just as a 00.
That is, yeah. Then there's another one where you've got the other characters.
Yeah, and then there's a gold one as well.
There's a gold double album.
Yeah.
I've got the white double album.
Yeah, I was looking at that one too, but I just thought I just want to just listen to the music. I'm not too bothered about. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've seen your notes, and we have to tread careful unless we decide to say, right, we're going to spoil it for the next 15 minutes or so. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do we not mention it and maybe in between doing this show for 1 week, we could do a little just Bond special for half an hour.
I'd be up for doing a Bond special, half an hour, complete breakdown of the movie and what we thought. So do a light touch.
All the little Easter eggs that are in it as well.
Yeah, all the little Easter eggs, I think, and talk about the ending.
And my missus, she said, so she had, obviously this was 2 hours 43 minutes long. I've got to go. I said, all right.
Yeah. So
she disappeared halfway through the movie.
Right.
Come back. And she said, I have to be torch. And it'd be like one of them ladies in the old cinema days with the torch to find the seat. And then she said, I've got to go again now. And this is right before, just as it was ending. I said, right, I'm going to stay to the end of the credits, watch all of that, and I'll meet you at the end of the foyer sort of thing. So I stayed to the very end, and then came out. And we did the decent thing, is we looked at each other and just walked out quietly to the car, and then started chatting about it. Because I thought it's not the days of old where you used to go to the cinema. When you exit the cinema, you go via like a fire exit door out the back somewhere. Do you remember those days?
Yeah, I do.
But these days you go back in the foyer, right round the queue in front of the next people that are going to go into the cinema. You don't want to do a Simpson like you did with Empire Strikes Back, where he walks through saying about Darth Vader's his dad. Oh my God! And spoiling it for everyone else in the aisle, sort of thing.
Yeah. No, we don't want to do that, but yeah, we'll do a spoilerific additional one, I think, and do a deep dive on that. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah.
So, other than that, have you seen any other movies? Done anything else interesting?
I did a Bond podcast, my top 10 Bond themes. Wrong Reel. When did I last go to the cinema? I don't think I have. Did I say I'd seen Sparks when we? I think I did. That was probably the last time we actually did it.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've watched a movie last night and a Korean TV show on Netflix, which is all the rage at the moment. So yeah, bit of
cool.
TV. I haven't watched any Flash yet. I've got that to finish off.
I wouldn't bother.
It's not bad, is it?
I know
we
terrible.
in the TV section, but things we can do it. But.
Yeah, this season of the Flash is not good.
But we have looking shows, I think, than anything else, to be honest.
I really don't know what's happened to DC, because DC made the good TV shows and the bad movies, and Marvel made the good movies and the bad TV shows, or they're not as good.
Is it going to swing round into big change in them?
And now all of the Marvel TV shows have been great, and all of the DC shows are all rubbish. But so are the movies. Maybe
that's going to be good in hindsight for when the Flash movie comes out, because seeing Batman 1989 in it, I'm looking forward to that.
Everybody wants to see Michael Keaton as Batman again.
So
he is Batman.
It could be a pretty good film.
It could be.
But then again, look at all the big hype over a lot of movies, and you get there and you get a bit disappointed. There's still a couple of more films to come out to see. Not that I'll get to see them all at the cinema right now.
Very true.
I'd like to see June, but I don't think I will be getting to see it at the minute.
Yeah.
And Halloween Kills comes out tail end of October as well, which I hope I don't get to see.
And it's only 2 more weeks to Dune.
Yeah, we'll say. I hope I've watched what was really good was actually being in a cinema with all that noise and sound, and seeing some nice trailers on the big screen.
Yeah.
Dune on there and the Matrix trailer they showed and all that sort of stuff. It looked really wicked on the big screen.
But if you want that big sound, just get Dolby Atmos.
Yeah, but I won't be getting that anytime soon, mate. But yeah, I've got my headphones for that. It's not the same, but it works.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same.
But going to the big screen, I don't think you can beat that, really.
No.
I was so pleased to be back in the cinema for that.
I've been back to the cinema several times in the last few weeks, because I went to see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings as well, which was great. It really was a good Marvel movie for a character who I knew very little about, and all of the bits that they did and how they linked it in with Iron Man 3 and the character Tony Slattery, who was played by Ben Kingsley, the Mandarin.
Oh, Gandhi.
Yeah, all of that. It was absolutely brilliant. And if you've seen the Marvel one-shot as well, which is on Tony Slattery, that character... the actor who played the Mandarin, not Ben Kingsley, but the Marvel Universe character.
Mm.
Absolutely fantastic what to do with it, and he's the main character in Shang-Chi, and there's some great cameos in there. Wong's in there, and interestingly, the Abomination's in it as well. So the Abomination was from the Incredible Hulk, and everybody thinks the Incredible Hulk was not part of the MCU, but it was actually the first movie in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, people forget it's such a long time ago now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, because it was pre-Iron Man was that one.
But I don't say you went. What did you see? Oh, you went to see what's the name, didn't you? As well?
The Ryan Reynolds latest one.
Yeah, no, the other Marvel one as well. You went to see
Black Widow.
Mm.
Yeah, I went to see that at the cinema as well. Yeah, so what's that? 4 or 5 movies I've been to see since sort of like COVID restrictions opened up the cinema, and it's great because at the moment it means I'm going about every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And 3 out of the last movies we've watched in the great big luxurious electric seats that lift your feet up and stuff like that. But unfortunately, the Bond movie was just too popular, and whatever night we went, all of those back seats were all taken.
So what time did you go to see it?
We went to see it at 7:30
in the evening. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like Adam had really wanted to go and see it. He'd been having a bit of a tough time at school and stuff like that, so we took him to see it. Just as a little, it wasn't planned, but it was a little surprise. And my wife went as well. It's sort of like getting my wife to go and see a movie is a bit, because she doesn't like watching movies. She's more of a watching. She'll sit and watch, for example, 4 or 5 episodes in a row of Jane the Virgin, but she won't watch a movie that would last the same length of time.
Yeah,
I don't get it, but.
I mean, we went in the morning, so we went Saturday at 9:40 in the morning, and that was for the first iSense showing, which is the Odeon special setup. So, but yeah, we was in there at about 9:15 having a coffee in the Costa in the cinema, and then sort of rolled out about 1:00ish out into the car. It seems it's a long time.
Yeah, I just wasn't into. We're working, and also Adam wanted to go on in bed at school and that sort of stuff. We just didn't there wasn't the opportunity to go during the day unless it was a weekend, and that's always fraught with difficulty.
We had sort of like a half. I mean, the cinema wasn't very full at that time in the morning, which is how I wanted it. And we had pretty spacious. We weren't. I think we were 2 either side that weren't being used, and so it was nice to be a little bit separated in the cinema still. Yeah,
I mean, when I went to see Shang-Chi, which was the one immediately before Bond. They'd just taken off the COVID restrictions so people could sit next to each other. And I did sit next to someone else, but because it was in the great big reclining chairs, there was like about a metre between them and me because of the width of the arms and, where you sat in the seats and stuff like that. So I didn't feel quite as bad. But I think if it had been in the sort of like, the masses sort of seats, sat next to someone, I wouldn't have been happy. Just because of the whole COVID thing. But when we went to the cinema, we sat sort of like basically all of the seats are on platforms going backwards and a good 20 foot away from the screen, and we sat at the front row right in the middle at the of that, so that we were well away from everybody else, because everybody else always goes further back, so we went further forward just to keep that sort of distance away from people. Which we've got to consider when you've got a 14-year-old kid who's going to the cinema basically, who's not been jabbed yet. So that was that. But we'll talk about Bond
briefly. I suppose.
Briefly, and then we'll do a spoiler.
I think even some of the things you say in your notes, I think are spoilers, to be honest. But I mean,
I'll tone it back a bit. but my prediction was right.
Yeah, but that's. I wouldn't say it. Don't say any more.
I'm not saying any more. No, I'm only saying that. But I
don't think
I was pleased about that.
But Twitter and some places were a bit. I sort of toned it down a bit, so I was out of the way with it.
I'll be honest. Anything to do with a Bond movie this time, I completely blocked it. The only thing I've seen of that before I went into that movie was the trailer. I haven't read anything. I hadn't looked at any YouTube other than the trailer, and I hadn't looked at Twitter. I'm tending not to look at Twitter almost at all now because I just find it to be a bit of a toxic environment sometimes.
No, I mean, actually, the James Bond community there was quite good because obviously we were seeing it first. I think 99% of people were keeping it quiet from them. Then they had it on the 8th.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yeah, and I think it's all right to do a spoiler podcast, but we don't want to spoil it for anyone who's listening to this show. So we'll keep it quiet.
Just minimal.
Yeah.
I think when I listened to Mark Kermode's review of it, that was before I went, and he was very, very toned back with it didn't mean a lot really anyway. He was just saying that, just little things, nothing that's going to be detrimental or progmental to it.
No.
Do you get any Blu-rays lately coming through the door? Other than one, I think.
Yeah, got this one. It's not been opened yet. The Empire Strikes Back in 4K.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just, when I see an offer on them, I'm just replacing them one at a time, sort of thing. I'm not in any great rush because I've got them all. I got all of the Star Trek 1 to 4 on 4K. I did, just because I couldn't bear not having it. And I have to admit, after watching the first one, sort of like some of that one in 4K, it might have been output at 4K, but they hadn't cleaned it to 4K.
No, forget that. Forget the first one. Wait for that and the director's cut that's coming out in.
That's exactly what I'm doing, because the director's cut's the best version.
Yeah, they're bringing that out, and they're actually going back into the graphics as well, tweak it. I think what have I had come through? I can't even think now. Full Metal Jacket. I had that.
Yeah,
which is one of my favourites. I've got Deep Red coming from Arrow, this special edition. That's a little bit delayed, I think, at the moment. Another Dario Argento movie. Obviously, we got our Dune turned up.
Yes. What did you think about the quality of it?
For how old the movie is, I was about right, really.
Do you think?
It's a shame they didn't have the documentary, and I knew that was going to happen. They did apologise about that, and that wasn't going to be on it, just down to contractual things.
I wasn't as blown away by it in the quality as compared to Flash Gordon, which was a much older 4K restoration, because that is just, it pops up.
What else have I got? Animal House as well.
Oh, yeah.
I picked that up because that was on the cheap one. Obviously, The Thing.
Yeah.
And that, again, is...
I thought you already had The Thing.
I had The Thing on Arrow.
Right.
But this is Studio Canal.
Right, okay.
So what happened is, the John Carpenter Studio Canal ones I've got?
Yeah, because I've got Escape from New York on that.
So the special editions they did?
Yeah.
4-disc sort of version?
Yeah.
So, and also with Apocalypse Now and also with Total Recall. Same sort of idea. So that comes out with, I think it's 3 discs, but what they've done is they put in the prequel in the box set as well as a bonus.
All right, okay. That's Arrow.
No, this is Studio Canal.
Oh, Studio Canal, right.
Yeah. So you get the prequel of The Thing, you get The Thing in 4K and the bonus discs as well, and a soundtrack from the CD. Let me dig it out. I'll show you it. 1 second. So
yeah. So that's £40 at the moment.
Yeah, so that is 4 discs. They've got the big booklet, poster, and everything with it as well. And it goes. Also, I've got Basic Instinct as well in the same setup as well, and Don't Look Now as well, which is a spooky psychological thriller. So yeah, that was. I think that's the big one for me. The Thing this end of this year after the Star Trek. Pre-ordered No Time to Die, funnily enough, on Steelbook with Davy.
Oh, the Steelbook. You haven't gone for the one with all of the extras.
Well, I don't know what there are in them. I just pre-ordered the Steelbook at the moment.
Right, because I think Amazon had a version of it. I can't remember. I put the link on the Facebook group, didn't I? Because I thought, you'll want to see that. Was it Savvy? Oh, no, it was HMV.
Oh, okay.
It's a HMV exclusive first edition.
Mm-hmm.
It's like £60. There's the Blu-ray, an Aston Martin keyring, 48-page exclusive mini book.
Yeah.
And
You're paying more for the
archives.
keyring there, aren't you? I think more than anything.
I think you probably are.
I need another couple of slots for my box set I've got of the Blu-ray, really, because you want to split them on, you want them all in there, really.
Yeah.
I mean, this would be the first 4K one. I mean, I don't know about getting the rest of them in 4K as a drip feeder. I don't know.
I think I probably will over time replace them all drip feed if they do every movie.
I mean, all the Daniel Craigs have been done, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They're about 60 quid, aren't they? Apart from obviously No Time to Die is not included.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably want them put individually. Same way I did with Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I've only got my favourite Star Wars movie. So
Yeah.
I've got the original trilogy on 4K with the steelbooks,
Yeah.
and also Rogue One. So I've sort of got the best, I think, part of Star Wars there in 4K.
Well, I got the French version of Rogue One before the British version came out, so it still plays English without subtitles and all of that. But obviously the box has got the French writing on the back, but I'm not too bothered about that. It's not
There's big stickers on it with 16 with them or something like that, anyway, what it is. And
I don't think it does. I think it's just similar sort of packaging to the UK one. But now on Star Wars, I've got A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and the last three. But I want to get the prequel and
how many discs?
Return of the Jedi.
How many discs are in your Empire Strikes Back?
I've no idea. I haven't opened it yet. It's still in a box.
I tell you why. This will be bad. This is going to be bad, but I'm going to show you something. One sec.
Literally opening it as we're looking.
Say again?
Literally opening it as we're talking.
Okay.
3 discs.
Oh, that's a shame. What's this got? Oh, this is 3 discs. So, these are mine. So, that's that one there. Steelbook.
Yeah, you've got the steel books.
Yeah, and then that one. And I've got Rogue One as well, the Steelbook. But for some reason they thought that these had some issues. So
Right.
what I've got 2.
Yeah.
But this is only, I'll open that.
That's a 3 disc box. It's just a case.
Yeah, just a case, which is spare. If you
All
want
right.
it.
Okay.
If you want it. Because you've got 3 discs, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
So you could have the Steelbook.
Yeah, if you don't want it.
Well, I
Send it my way.
don't need it. I've already got it there.
Yeah, if you want to send it my way, I'll stick it in there. Brilliant.
Because they're both they're both perfect. There's no issue with the sometimes they say it's a slight degrade or something, so I just send it out and send the second one out. But they're fine. And I've had this sitting here for months actually. I didn't know what to do with it, and I just left it there, and it just sits in there like it looks like I've got 2 copies.
As you do. So yeah, but I must admit I've been watching more stuff streaming, to be fair, and also me and my son, we've now got a weekly movie night, so we've been doing
That's right, yeah.
doing Marvel, and we're on halfway through phase 2 now. So we literally just watched what was it? It was only yesterday. I sat and watched it. Oh, Thor: The Dark World.
Oh.
So we're about to start on Captain America: Winter Soldier, because it never dawned on me, of course, when these films first started coming out. I was like 4 or 2. Sorry. So he either didn't see them or completely doesn't remember them, even when I've watched them and he sat and watched with me. So it's like he's watching them for the first time and he's absolutely loved it. And it's been great re-watching them with him, because it's sort of like made me feel like I'm watching them for the first time again almost.
Well, you've probably forgotten them to a certain degree, haven't you? So
Yeah.
and also now watching them quickly between a week each, then you'll get it's probably giving you more information. You think, oh, now I know about that now, don't I? I know about this. I know you're going to probably remember the end of what.
Yeah, but also it's making you. It's so interesting watching the very early ones, because obviously I know that people complain about Marvel movies and say they're very formulaic and stuff like that, but every blooming movie's formulaic, really, because there's only about 7 stories. It's supposed to be only about 7 stories that you can tell, and everything else is a variation.
Yeah.
So when you actually look at when the movies first started, the style was very different. But then again, they were under Paramount at that point. Was it Paramount Universal? Paramount, I think. Before they went over to the House of the Mouse. But it's so fascinating seeing how the characters have developed and how similar they are and how they're very different at the same time. You know, and there's stuff that now I watch and I have so much more appreciation of it than I did when I watched them originally, because I wasn't as much of a Marvel nerd when I first watched them, and since then I've learned a lot more about Marvel. So it's really, really interesting how all that's come about. But yeah, the other thing, me, of course, is my computer wars over the last few weeks as well. So I was absolutely gutted. It was just before we were going to do a recording a couple of weeks ago, and my computer just decided it was giving up the ghost. And this is the most weird thing I've ever had in my life. So switch the computer on, it'll boot up from a cold on a morning, yeah? So my computer's been running all day, every day, just about. But switch computer on, boots up fine. Restart the computer to do a warm reset. BIOS, post, lights come on the motherboard, stops at CPU error. So I thought, what's all that about? So, you know, you do the normal thing of switch it off, you know, check the wires, blah, 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 blah. Didn't come on, kept, you know, even if you switched it off and then switched it back on while it was still warm, literally physically warm, then you get CPU error. But then it'd come down the next morning and think, I'll try it again, switch it on, came on. And it seemed to work fine. Although I did notice that there seemed to be a little bit of, you know, sometimes when it was like getting towards the end of the day, it was almost like the computer was tired. Though it sounds stupid, but it was like really weird.
It's probably suddenly got a soul or something and you think, sod you, mate, I want to go to bed.
Yeah, probably. So you've been working all day on me and now I don't want to play Destiny, thank you very much, I'm tired. So, I think the other thing as well is, for months it hadn't been waking up my monitor. Monitor particularly. So I'd have to switch the monitor off and switch it back on again. It was a bit annoying, more than anything else, but you know, it would come on as soon as I'd done that. It's only like 2-second things, so never even thought about it. But the other thing as well is, always the NVMe had seemed slow on this, because my old PC on an SSD booted up way faster than this PC had ever done. So with this consistent problem of the restart, because obviously, you know, you install a piece of software or something, if it requires a restart of the computer, I couldn't restart the computer. I'd have to switch it off and then leave it until the next day to use it again. So it wasn't going to work for me, was that arrangement at all. So I ended up contacting eBuyer, who I bought it from, and they sent me out in a box to send it back in, and then collected it by DPD, and then, you know, got it back, and then they fixed it. And lo and behold, it's had a new motherboard and a new graphics card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the machine is faster now. There's a definite difference in the speed. The graphics kind of feel a bit more stable as well. But what is weird is I'm having problems with Destiny, which is a known issue for some people with Destiny, but it's just about sticky keys and lag. And I was getting the sticky keys and lag on my laptop when I was playing on it as well. So I know it's not the PC, as it were. But what evidently the workaround is you've got to go into your roaming folder in your user data, so, you know, your apps data folder, and then go into roaming, and then go and delete your Destiny 2 folder, reboot it up, play the game, or start the game, come out the game, restart the machine, and then go into the game, and then it doesn't do it. So I've messaged Destiny a couple of times and said, Bungie, and said, come on, when we get in the fix, to be completely ignoring what I've said. But it's really annoying.
See, this is the thing with, it's making you the master race. You don't get that with the Xbox. It works.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah,
I mean, we get updates, but it does, yeah, exactly. But anyway, so, you know.
But the thing is, they're doing something different with the PC version. The PC version was really stable, and I'm not kidding you. When the PC version runs, my God, it is so fantastic. But when it doesn't, it's annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real bum, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so I had all of that as well. So I was a bit peed off with that happening, but got it fixed. That's the main thing. And it's sat here, and the graphics card is enormous. It's probably about an inch longer than my last one, and about an inch thicker. So, it's... and also, the other thing as well is it's now got 3 power sockets on the graphics card rather than 2. So that's a lot of power it's pulling.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, so that's about it for me. The other thing as well is, as you know, I've got another house that I rent out. Decided I'm going to sell it.
Unusual, yeah, difficult.
Well, it's not really worked out as well as I sort of hoped. The house isn't as modern as it needs to be, and I don't want to spend the money on updating the house because the return on investment just isn't there. But what I'm going to do is just buy a different house that's more modern, actually a new build. And do that, but it's sort of like saying goodbye to my childhood home, which is a bit,
Yeah, I know, I get that.
But we all have to do it.
Yeah.
So
I've got one more thing to talk about.
Oh yeah, go on.
My YouTube channel. You know, I do one for soundtracks and stuff like that. Well, I hit 102 subscribers.
Well, hey.
So I've now officially given it a name.
All right. Okay. What is it?
The Vinyl Score.
All right. Okay.
I was trying to think what can I use because I know a lot of people there's different ones out there, but I put that in. They said I can have it, so there you go. The Vinyl Score, which I thought was quite a play on words.
So there you go. YouTube.com/the Vinyl Score.
Or just Google that, and because what it was, a couple of people have been wanting me to do full albums. So
yeah, I would be worried about copyright about that one.
But loads of people do it all the time. But anyway, so.
I still would be worried about copyright.
Sorry, fine. No, I've seen loads of people doing them. Don't take them down. I've seen some up for 4 or 5 years. So I did a couple. I did it in 2 sections for one album, and I did the other album because they're very small. There's one hit because they're like 20-minute videos, some of them. Yeah. So yeah, whatever. It goes. If I get grief, I get grief. Whatever.
I would be more worried about if I got a copyright claim and been taken to court.
Well, no, it's even. It's funny. It's a weird thing because you can put something on. Well, I think Facebook's the hardest thing nowadays. If you play something on there, it flags it up all the time. It says it's owned by so and so. But I'm not making any money out of it. It's not like it's a channel where I'm trying to earn. So
it's Facebook because the one I've always only ever have a problem with is YouTube.
No, Facebook and Instagram, which are now the same people, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I've put stuff on there on Facebook, and it's down within it's blank. In seconds. And Instagram as well. I'll get an email saying that this is copyrighted. It's crazy, but isn't it funny? Just briefly, just turn the heads on that. What happened to Facebook the other day and Instagram? It all went down, didn't it?
Yeah.
The whole world stopped because Instagram and Facebook went down.
I have to say, I didn't notice.
Well, I knew. My missus said. The reason I knew was because my missus said you were trying to send a text message to someone, you couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and I found out that was the reason why.
No, I think I've really been coming away from a lot of social media recently. Because the other thing as well is I've reinvigorated my love for photography. So I've got my digital SLR out and I've been going off to different places. So the other day I went up to a place called Captain Cook's Monument.
Some pictures, yeah.
Yeah, so, Captain Cook, obviously, very famous character from a place called Great Ayton, which was 3 miles away from where I used to live at Stokesay. And on the North Yorkshire Moors, there is this monument that has been erected up there. So
an obelisk of some kind, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. And it's a beautiful view up there. And there's another famous hill called Rosebery Topping, which is right next to the place, so you can actually see all of that. And we went up there on Friday afternoon because my son's school was having a teacher training day, so my wife and I took the afternoon off. Well, my wife was off all day, I took the afternoon off, and then we went up on the moors, and I'd always wanted to go up there. And it's not far to go up, it's a couple of miles, about 3 miles outside of Great Ayton, near a place called Little Ayton. And there's a parking space then. It's like 3/4 of a mile walk, which is all uphill. It felt like you were walking up a 40-story hill, to be fair. But when you get to the top, you get such a massive view. You can see for miles and miles and miles. It's great. So I've got some nice pictures and stuff like that, which I think I put one on Twitter of the monument.
saw some on Facebook.
Yeah, I've been thinking about, I don't know about your local news, but they do the thing of, you can copy them into your Twitter and stuff like that, and then they'll, if they catch it and they like your photo, they'll put it on the weather the next day. So I've been thinking about doing a few things like that, because I've got a few pictures I'm quite proud of.
When me and Mrs. go down to the beach, somewhere we take photographs, and I did somewhere we went on an obscure, we found this, she showed me this bit of beach, which you really can't get to. If you can walk down here, we ended up being tiptoe, right through this bit to get to the bottom, and it's just desolate. And I think I put the pictures on Twitter, actually. And yeah, it was nice, but then the thing was, though, we weren't going to go back up that way. But so we go around the coastline because the tide was out. We can get out the other side of it. Otherwise, we'd be screwed. But then to get back to the car, we got to go all the way along the coastline.
Yeah.
And then up at a certain point. But then when you get up there, the car's way back the other way.
Yeah, so you got to go right round.
Yeah, but I got the message to go and get it, and I stayed with the dog. Bonus. But yeah.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, shall we move on to our first part of the show, which is Gaming This Week.
No longer a dream, but a reality.
All right, so Gaming This Week, and we've got lots of news for you. So first off, Far Cry 6 disc problems for the PS5 upgrade. So evidently, if you've been buying PS4 version of Far Cry 6 and thinking you're going to get the upgrade really easily for the PS5, you might find you can't access the upgrade to the PS5 version. So this was reported on our Facebook group. Evidently, there is an issue with some of the UK discs being the same as the Russian version of the disc. So what you need to do is, if you've got Far Cry 6 on PS4, check to see if you've got a black PEGI 18 or 18 plus box, which is the Russian age certificate. If you've got that, you're going to have a problem with your upgrade. But evidently there is a workaround of creating a PSN network account for Russia, and then you'd be able to upgrade your game to the Russian version and then switch back to the UK version to play the PS5 download.
That's poor show, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty poor, to be fair.
I mean, I know there's been a bit of a problem with upgrades for the PlayStation. We know what's going on. I mean, they did a bit of a turnaround with something there, haven't they? They were being ribbed about that for quite a while.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that, well, I mean, these things happen. They happen on both sides of the fence, whether you're blue or green. There's pros and cons to both consoles, but that is pretty poor that you've got to swap regions. So, anyway. Do you want to do the next one? Because seeing as if we cut you, you bleed green.
So Sony have just signed on a dotted line to acquire Demon Souls Bluepoint Games, and not keen to be outdone, Microsoft again are looking at three big names to add to their growing list of devs. So it's been apparently reported, now I have heard about some of this. So we've got Crystal Dynamics, IO Interactive and Avalanche, dev teams for Raider, Tomb of the Raider, Marvel Avengers, Hitman, and the new 007 game when that comes out. And even Deathloop's being eyed as a purchase, which I think that probably was linked to the buyout of Bethesda anyway.
No, I think it's in Deathloop Avalanche.
Oh, is it? I'm thinking of what's the
yeah, all of those games are games from those ones. So Crystal Dynamics did Tomb Raider and Marvel Avengers, and
I thought Deathloop was a Bethesda game, but it was coming out.
No, I don't think it is.
Okay, all right. Prove me wrong. But I've heard there's maybe even another one in the background somewhere they're looking to purchase.
Right, its publisher is Bethesda, but the developer is Arcade Studios.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, interesting. I mean, don't you think it's just going to end up you're going to have to buy both consoles because it's going to be exclusives on one and exclusives on the other?
Yeah, I think when you want to sort of broaden your portfolio, I think these things it's going to happen.
Yeah, anyway.
But you don't know. Sometimes they might decide to say, we'll give it to from PlayStation to purchase it, or vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you wouldn't have thought Mass Effect would have gone on. That was like set in stone. It'd never be over to PlayStation, would it?
Well, that was what it was supposed to be, and then it suddenly turns up on Mass Effect 2, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But such is life. Anyway, another one for those of you who are on the PC community. And those of you who like achievements, I wonder who that might fit that criteria. Evidently, Epic Games is going to add achievements system to where players can collect XP points when they play selected titles, and this is starting evidently next week. So the system is similar to those of other platforms such as Steam, which will be available to Epic players, and players will be able to lock Epic achievements and earn XP by completing in-game objectives as normal. The games that have definitely got it coming so far are Rocket League, Alan Wake Remastered, Pillars of Eternity, Zombie Army 4, Kenna, and Hades. So Epic will sort the achievement into 4 tiers based on the amount of XP that the players will get from them, and those are Bronze, which will be 5 to 45, Silver, which will be 50 to 295, Gold, which will be 100 to 200 XP, and Platinum, which will be 250 XP. The games that have achievements will have an achievements page where the player can track the progress and share it with other players. The pages will also be available in the game's libraries as well, and the pages will also include outlines of each achievement and players' progress towards it, and highlighting those areas that they're near completion. So I think that's good for those of you who like achievements, and for those of you who don't like achievements, it's something for you to completely ignore and not moan about.
Well, I mean, I've got an achievement, first achievement in a long time. I've got a couple actually in the last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I forgot what they popped like.
I think this must be the first month in forever that you've got more achievements than me, because I've literally got no achievements this month. I haven't played anything yet.
I got one for No Man's Sky.
Well, hey.
And I got one for Alan Wake.
Cool. I'd actually forgotten Alan Wake was released. I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts on that are. But before that, we'll go through the new releases. Steve, do you want to start off with us?
Sure. So we have Deathloop, just previously we were talking about. PC, PS5 with Bethesda. That was on the 14th. For the 15th, we've got...
Actually, I've just noticed these are all out of date. They're a month out.
Well, we'll give them anyway.
Well, so we might as well get the more up to date ones. I was on the wrong page when I pulled them.
Well, if you got them, you can read them. So Alan Wake has come out this week. That's one.
Yeah.
Which I think is isn't that going on PlayStation as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's not much out this week, to be fair. So on the 12th, we've got Back 4 Blood.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One.
Yeah.
And then A Plague Tale: Innocence on a PS5 and Xbox Series X on the 19th. So very little in the immediate future. So it's all, well, not even next week. Looking at it, there's not even that much coming out. And I mean, I know that A Plague Tale is next week. Metroid Dread has just been released. Obviously, we've also had Far Cry and Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania, which I think is like that Sonic one that they did, and Hell Let Loose, which has gone straight to PlayStation PSN, hasn't it? Which was interesting. And I don't know, you like your football. Did you see that you can get eFootball, which is the latest PES, for free on Game Pass?
Yeah, I noticed. I haven't looked at it yet. I mean, I haven't gone down the FIFA route this year yet. I'm still playing the older version, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I might cave in at some point, maybe early in the new year. But I really can't be asked at the minute. Too much to do on Destiny, so.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, interesting.
Do you want to do the? Seeing as that I hijacked that, seeing as that I put the wrong stuff in there. Do you want to do the Games for Gold?
Games for Gold. So yeah, okay. So we got from the 1st of October to the 31st. We got Aereo, which sounds like Oreo to me, but it's not. We have something else there, which is called Hoover or Hover. That's from the 16th to the 15th of November. The 360 games, we've got a Castlevania game, 1st to the 15th, and then 16th to the 31st, we've got Resident Evil Code Name Veronica, which I already own that one.
Yeah, it's a good game, is that? I've already got that as well.
Yeah, and if you want Metal Gear Solid, I purchased it for $5 on Xbox. It's there at the moment for a couple more days as a discount. So
Steak.
It's the HD collection. Yeah. So it's number 2 and 3.
Yeah. I might even, seeing as that my son's finally digged out my PS1, I might even have a go at the original Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Because we've been playing that. It's been brilliant. Xbox Game Pass We've got on October the 5th, Totally Accurate Battle Simulator on cloud, console and PC. On the 7th, we've got The Procession to Cavalry, console, cloud, PC. Visage on console, cloud, PC. October the 12th, Back for Blood, console, cloud, PC. And Destiny Beyond Light, PC. We've got October the 14th, Ring of Pain, cloud, console, PC. And
that sounds bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Why's that song? The burning ring of fire commits on. And on October the 15th, we've got The Good Life, console, cloud and PC as well. Titles leaving the Xbox Game Pass are Goner 2, which is appropriate, I suppose, for giving the title. Heave Ho, which again is probably another perfectly named title. Katana Zero, Scourgebringer, Tales of Vesperia, and The Sword of Ditto.
Have you tried the cloud gaming yet, by any chance?
No, haven't.
So you can do it from your Xbox, can't you? And your PC.
Evidently.
So you can play a game in the cloud without having to download it.
Yeah, I keep thinking about trying PlayStation.
There is
PlayStation now on the Xbox. It's a sort of like Inception sort of moment.
So yeah, there's a thing. If you go to the Xbox page for it on the console, there's like about 15, 20 games for the cloud. So
not bad.
Yeah. So do you want to do PlayStation? Is it your neck of the woods?
Yeah, see, I'm probably more blue these days than I am green. Hell Let Loose is being released on PS5. We've got Mortal Kombat X on the PS4, PGA 2K21 on the PS4, and Castlevania Requiem, Symphony of the... Is it King or something?
Mm-hmm.
Symphony of the Right, sorry, whatever it is. That one is also available on the PS4, all on PlayStation Plus this month, which is quite decent, really.
I've got two of those on the Xbox, so yeah.
Well, Hell Let Loose is also, you out as well, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, I've got two. I've got the golf game and I've got Mortal Kombat 10. I've got both of those. I've actually owned them.
Cool.
The Xbox, so.
We've got PlayStation now, the Amnesia Collection, so don't forget about that. Desperados 3, Fallout 76% off. Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, Last of Us Part 2, Victor Vran Overkill Edition, and yet another Zombie Defense HD.
Oh God, those Twitch ones are tiny. What have we got there then? I can make out Alien Isolation there.
Right, Twitch HD, Twitch rather, or Prime Gaming, whatever it's called now. We've got Star Wars Squadrons on Origin, Ghost Runner, Alien Isolation, Whiskey and Zombies, Great Southern Zombie Escape, Wallace and Gromit, The Bogeyman, Wallace and Gromit, Muzzled, Secret Files 3, Song of Horror Complete Edition, Tiny Robots Recharged, Blue Fire, Wallace and Gromit, The Last Resort, Red Wings, Aces of the Skies, and Wallace and Gromit, Fright of the Bumblebees. So, again, not too bad considering that's sort of like a giveaway on Amazon Prime. Definitely worth, even if you don't have a PC, but you might be thinking of getting one at some point, it's worth just adding these as they keep coming onto your account.
But yeah, can I go back to just a quick question for you? So Destiny 2 is coming to PC.
Yeah.
Is that coming to the Game Pass side, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, Game Pass side. Not, I think, where was it? Game Pass. Yeah, Game Pass Beyond Light PC.
Yeah, I'll tell you why in a minute.
You getting a PC?
No, I was talking to an old friend of mine. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. Epic, available now. We have PC Building Simulator. That's available until the 14th at 4 o'clock, at which time it will then be Paladin's Epic Pack and Stubbs the Zombie Rebel without a pulse, and that'll be available until the 21st of October. So, Steve, let us know what this conversation was all about then. And
so I was playing. I had a text from Glenn.
All right, okay.
And I was playing to him for quite a while. We normally do touch base every now and then with our business. And so what we did is, he was on his PC and I was on the Xbox, and we played No Man's Sky together.
Cool.
And he dropped into my world.
Yeah.
So he's been playing it I couldn't remember how to play this. Obviously, I've got to a certain point and I'm still on the first planet. But it was good to have a chat, and we were just, we was just doing a bit of grinding in there. But it played really well. I was very surprised that, you wouldn't have known that it was on the PC. It just well have been Xbox.
Well, you think about it logically, there's no reason for it to play any different.
No, not at all. Very smooth.
Yeah.
So we were chatting about that, and I said, I'm sure Destiny 2's coming to PC. So I'm twisting his arm to play that.
Yeah.
You know, so watch this space for that one. I just actually sent him a message to remind him.
Yeah, come on, Glyn. We need to get enough people for a raid. You can join our fire team.
Yeah. So that was just one night we did it, but didn't realise we started about 8 o'clock and didn't stop till 1 in the morning. Didn't realise the time.
That's a lot of grinding for No Man's Sky, to be fair.
I mean, I didn't do it. We did more chat to be honest, but you know, it reminds me of how to play the game and do the mining for what I was after. But you know, it was good for everyone.
So you've played the latest pack then?
Yeah, I just re-downloaded it and got my game saved.
Yeah.
Downloaded the free pack for some things. I don't know what they were, but
there's been lots of I seriously think that Hello Games should get Developer of the Century for how they've supported that game.
Yeah, it's had a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, a long and tortured way with Sony throwing them under the bus and everything.
So did a bit of that. So I started Alan Wake Remastered.
So how is it?
I'm only at the very beginning. So do you remember playing the game?
Oh yes, one of my favourite games. Completed it on several times, I think.
So I just did a digital download for it. It's easy to think of it. And I just got to the lighthouse. That's as far as I've literally done the first part of the introduction.
Right.
I'm trying to remember to collect the flask this time.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the collectibles in the game, isn't there? There's 100 flasks to get.
Yeah, something. Is it flasks or is it lights?
It's flask. It's like you know, like cup of tea flask.
Yeah.
The old school ones that we used to do.
Yeah, because there was 2 levels. There's the extra hard ones to get and the normal ones. And I've never bothered collecting all of the really hard ones, and I really wish I had.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously at this part of the game, it's all blacks and whites and darks, isn't it? In the at night time, you know, with the flashlight and the flare as well, which is pretty cool. I've been looking forward to see how this game plays on once I get into it a bit. I like it's the sort of game I play at night time as well.
Oh, you got to play it at night time. It's not good playing it in the day.
I want to try it with my headphones on as well, because I did when I purchased my first set of headphones for the Xbox at the time. That was when the Alan Wake came out, so it was a long time ago. But yeah, it's a game that I finished easily. Also, did the DLC too, 2 packs for DLC. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do indeed.
And it's very, very episodic as well. Because remember, you have like credits and music at the end each time, and they're like playing. I think who was these songs they were playing now?
Yeah. Do you remember on Microsoft they had the like little videos as well of Alan Wake at that point?
I mean, I think it's one of Remedy's best games.
Yeah, definitely.
And
one that they need to do a sequel of as soon as possible.
Well, I think if this is getting the love it's getting, I think that will push them to do it.
Yeah.
I really hope that they've been thanking the community as well. I've seen a lot of posts on their Facebook page and Twitter and stuff like that. So I think it's great. It's a great standalone story. And there's little bits I remember, but I'm just going to not even go back. I mean, I do have it on the 360 as well still. I do own a copy of it. But I thought, look, for what it is, it's not a lot of money to pick up. And because I'm sure you'll probably go down that route as well, won't you?
To be honest, when I saw that you'd got it, I thought, I didn't realise that was out. And I thought, shall I buy it? And I thought, no, just calm it down, because I've just bought a few other little bits. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hadn't. I mean, I had to purchase 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
Right.
Mine was running out, so I just did that with the CD keys. There's no deals at the minute anywhere that's anything worth going for, so I just did a 3-monthly. I don't mind doing it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky I managed to just dip in at the end of a deal, so I got a year worth of it
for about 70 quid or something, wasn't it?
It was less than that, I think.
Yeah,
it might have been about 70 quid. It was really cheap, whatever I got it for. I can't remember now. But I'm more sort of concerned because my PlayStation now is about to run out, so I don't know whether or not to renew it or not. I don't really play that much on PlayStation now at the moment, but that's not to say I would.
I know what you mean. I mean, yeah. I'm more interested in keeping my Xbox One going than the PlayStation. There's also the continuity as well.
Yeah.
Because it mucks that up, doesn't it, when your time...
In what way, sorry? Oh, your
years that you've been doing it.
Yeah, because I've been an Xbox user a lot more years than it says that I've been an Xbox user. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that because you missed a couple of...
Well, there was at one point I wasn't playing games online, so I just didn't bother with with Xbox Live. And back then, remember, it was still about 30 quid for a year, but you never got any free games. Because I know nobody ever acknowledges it these days, but the reason why the free games ever started was it was started by Sony after they got hacked, and it was such a long time that the network was down, and then they started giving away people free games, and then it became part of PSN, and Microsoft copied that basically and did exactly the same sort of thing in order to keep competitive. Which has been, ultimately was great value for us. But, back then, when you first look at the original first couple of years of PlayStation and Xbox, it wasn't really, unless you were playing online, there was no point in having Plus. And I wasn't playing online, so I didn't.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So consequently, mine says I've got 13 years. How many did yours say? 16, something like that?
I don't know, actually. I've not really made a touch with that. I did make a touch of something where I'll share with you in a minute when we talk about Destiny, because I've broken a milestone.
What, 1 million kills or something like that?
No. I'll mention it in a minute when we talk. I do you want to...
Well, go on, talk about Destiny, Steve, because you obviously itching to talk about it. So
I was just looking at my playtime with Destiny 1, and I've now superseded that with Destiny 2.
Right.
I'll have to just see if I can find the screen. I think it'd be a screenshot. Actually, I can go. I know I can go find it. And so my playtime for Destiny was 1,323 hours, and Destiny 2 is now 1,338 hours. So I've overtaken my Destiny 1 with Destiny 2.
That can't be right, because I'm sure you had nearly 2,000 hours on Destiny.
Well, I looked on there's one of the websites I looked on, unless you can see it differently on the Xbox. I don't know.
Yeah, you see it differently on the Xbox.
It's days though, isn't it?
Oh, 1,000 days played.
It says H on the end, so is that hours, surely?
Yeah, that's hours.
1,338 hours and 56 minutes, it says I've been playing.
You see, I'm really surprised at that, because you've played Destiny loads more than I have. Absolutely loads.
I mean, that might be wrong.
Since it went onto Steam, I have played over 1,000 hours of it. In a matter of fact, that was my milestone, was playing 1,000 hours on Steam this week. So I'm just surprised. I was sure.
Unless I can see it on Xbox, I don't know. Can I? I can't remember if you can.
Yeah, you can on the Xbox.
I'm quite curious now. So
right, time played. You've played 109 days, 18 hours and 50 minutes on Xbox on Destiny.
How many days?
109.
Have you got a problem?
Yeah. The Anonymous. Yeah, because I'm looking at the leaderboard, and my time. I mean, this is. You've done an extra 50 days and 13 hours to me, because I'm on 59 days and 5 hours and 22 minutes. So you've done an extra 50 days to me. You're third on the leaderboard.
Who's on top then?
Duke Fan 76. Okay, we used to do raids with him. And Chunky Monkey is at 157. So
yeah. I haven't spoken to him for a while, actually.
No.
Where did you find that again? Sorry,
I'm looking on the Destiny app. On the Xbox console companion that I got that. So on Destiny 2, that's interesting. When I got to Destiny 2, try that one. Console edition, yeah, that's it. So achievements. Time played. Now, bearing in mind, this is... Right, you've played 91 days, 15 hours and 13 minutes. According to the Xbox console companion. So what would that be? So you're still short, mate. I don't know where that's added it up from.
Maybe it's not right. It's one of the websites I went to.
Yeah, but I'm just looking at what Microsoft, because I thought that sounds. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised because of the amount of time that you've played Destiny 2.
So I do 3 hours a night, easy.
Yeah, but we used to do several hours a night.
Well, we used to be, yeah. I mean, I do try to get to bed.
When it was you, me, and Chris, and we used to be like, we're supposed to be getting up in an hour. Hell, we'll power through. They were the days.
But yeah, so how are you getting on? So we've had a bit of a playtime together.
Yeah, we've because Destiny has finally switched on crossplay. Woohoo!
We've all been playing on our own favourite machines.
Yes, I've been playing PC. You've been playing Xbox. Mark's been joining us on Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, I've been diving into into Trials a little bit, and I had one main mission to get through one weekend by going right round to, from the first one back to what's the old school way of saying it, prestiging it.
I'm confused about this. Are you doing an LFG on this?
No, if you go onto the planet, you go to Crucible. It's on there at the moment. I've already actually started again, so I've done a couple of games.
Yeah, because I went on there just out of curiosity to look, and I clicked on doing trials, and it wouldn't let me do it because it said I wasn't in a group. So how are you doing trials when it's you on your own?
No, you must have clicked the wrong thing. There's two things inside there.
You go into Crucible.
Your Trials Labs. I will show you. I've started again, so let me just log in. So they got something called Trials Labs. So Trials is normally 3 versus 3.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go into matchmaking with 2 other people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Matchmaking's not on.
But it is. It is. So if you go into Crucible, you go to Trials there. You've got Trial of Osiris. You've got the labs there. Go and see. Pick up your Trials ticket first of all.
And then I hadn't picked up a Trials ticket.
Pick up one of the Trials tickets. And then start playing 3 versus 3 elimination.
That was it. I hadn't picked up a trials ticket because, as Mark keeps taking the mick out of me with it, I hate trials. I hate Crucible.
But honestly, I've picked up all the weapons now. I've got all the weapons, and I've got the armor as well for playing with this part of the game.
Yeah.
And the submachine gun is one of the best for PvE in the game. It's really good.
Yeah.
And I've got a good roll in it as well. So every time you get a win, you get something to go back and pick up. Every time you go around, keep going around as well. You keep just getting more of the time. You're getting more and more of the of the engrams, you know.
Yeah.
And it's worth. I've enjoyed it. I know you don't like Crucible at the best of times, but 3 versus 3, and I'm testing out different guns. You know, I was winning every now and then, losing every now and then, so I don't worry about that. But
the only time I don't mind Crucible is the mode. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the Mayhem modes, but it's the one where your super recharges instantly.
Yeah.
That one, I'll play that all day. I don't mind that one at all, but it's very rarely on. But I don't mind Mayhem to a point, but other than that, I'm just really not into it.
Yeah, I mean, I did that. I've gone all the way around. Also, what it did help, it helped with the Crucible one as well. So that chipped away at that at the same time. So I then did a reset on that. Did a reset. So this last couple of weeks, I've done a reset in Gambit, I've done a reset in Trolls, and a reset in the Crucible. So I've done 3 resets. I've
done a reset in Crucible because I had to 2 resets in Crucible because I had to get the rocket launcher and the
ornament
to go with it. So that when that came up as a weekly challenge, that's not a challenge, that's a grind. There's a difference between a challenge and a grind, and that was definitely a grind.
Well, I mean, I've not been too fussed about it. I've been more trying to get the seal complete, obviously, the way that works.
Well, there's only 2 things left on the seal left for me, and I can't do them because one hasn't been up. Well, one's hidden and the other one hasn't been up.
One of them you've got to have all the mods, but I've got the mods every week. So
yeah, I've got the mods every week as well.
No, what I'm saying is it's 2 more to come. I've got 6 out of 7 on that.
No, you haven't got them all. You haven't got them all. It's only the bottom 2 that are not opened up for me now.
So yeah, Legendary Alignment will be in about a week or so's time.
Yeah, no, you can get that one there now, Steve.
Oh, I don't know what I need to do there then, because at the moment I've got every mod that's come out on there. So.
You're obviously missing one. Yeah, have you done all of the? Because I think that there was a mod or whatever on the Shattered Realm hidden somewhere or something.
I've completed the Shattered Realm for all the different areas. I've been through and collected everything I need to collect.
You've done absolutely everything in the Shattered Realm.
Yep. I can tell you so. So I've done, the Ruins of Wrath?
Yeah.
Debris of Dream, Forest of Echoes. So those are the round ones, those 4 there. I've done all of them. I've got everything ticked off in the box. Thanks to a certain YouTuber that I was using to help me out.
Oh, which one were you using?
Oh, what's his name? Begins with E now. I'll look in a minute when you're chatting. But yeah, he was very thorough in the route to take to collect everything, even though I had already started collecting bits and pieces anyway, just getting the hidden mysteries and stuff like that. I think it was a very clever season. I don't think it's been a bore at all.
I don't know. I think the Shattered Realms getting really boring.
Wait till you've got to do like a legendary version of it. That might be worth doing with 2 or 3 of us, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the mysteries and stuff like that. The one that was the most puzzling, and I wouldn't say really puzzling because I realised what it was after the first run, was the second one after you'd really opened up all of the things on the compass, where you could get the true sight and true movement and all of that, and you had to kill 3 lots of extra yellow shielded or yellow armoured ones on 3 different levels.
So that was the one where you had the 3 floors, you had 3 little fires you had to you had to put your orb, bang your orb in.
No, that was the witches.
Excuse me.
That was the witches. No, this one, you had. It was the one where it was the chest that was protected by a force field.
That's what I'm on about. Yeah, because in front of that you lit up.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. It lit 3 fires when you lit a fire every time you did a
killed a witch.
Yeah,
came back with the orb.
Yeah, use your code, then it lit a fire.
It. Yeah, that was good fun. That I enjoyed that.
I didn't mind it, but it wasn't sort of like it wasn't rocket science.
No, there's different ways of doing it. I mean, when I watched it being done, even though I'd done sort of probably half it anyway already at the time, and it's more for the hidden like when you've got true sight and you've got those little hidden orbs, for example, you crack open and stuff like that. I missed one on one run, but then did a second one and found it. But and there should be. I did the. What have I just done recently in there? It goes to my weapons. I also find it. So Aegis Scepter, which has been really cool. I like the way you use that in the realm as well to break down different walls. Yeah. So I've now got the catalyst for it.
Right.
Which I completed. That was dead easy to do. I think to speed up, I went to the moon.
Which one don't you have? You said what was the name of the one that you don't have?
What, the mods?
Yeah. What was the name of the Triumph?
No, it's not a Triumph.
Well, part of the seal, because they're all Triumphs that make up the seal, aren't they?
Mods of the Lost. Got 6 out of 7.
Definitely get them all.
So which one have I not got?
I don't know.
How do I know?
I don't know. I don't know which one you haven't got.
Can you tell?
No, it just tells me I've got 7 out of 7.
Maybe because the mods come from the Wayfinder, don't they?
Have you opened up all of your Wayfinder?
Obviously, but I know what it is. What level are you?
I'm...
Because when you go to the helm, what I'm going to do anyway, when you go to the helm and you go down to where the Wayfinder is on the compass, on the right hand side of that, obviously there's what you pick up as you go, and depending on what level you are, because I reckon
I'm over level 200.
No, not that. No. What level? No, the level when you go to the Wayfinder's compass.
Oh, level 20.
Yeah, that's why you've got them all then.
Yeah.
Because I'm level. 1 second, I'll just go to the Wayfinder's compass. Remember, you hammered it a bit more than I did for a while, didn't you? Remember when you really caned it?
Yeah.
So hold on, I've got 2. Hold on, I'm level 19. Actually, I'm going to do this live, so I'm just going to take these 2 items here. I'm still level 19, and if I look low level, you can see all the mods that I've opened up.
Yeah.
And the last thing there to pick up is the Celestial Photography.
I don't think I've got that one yet.
Which is level 20, which is that's the emblem.
Oh, maybe I have. I don't know. I can't remember. It was the beginning of the week that I did that, Tuesday. So all the mods that are there, I've got. Obviously, the Wayfinder's compass is complete. Yeah.
So maybe if I hit level 20, another one that might appear or something, which I will have a little crack at tonight, actually.
I think you have to get the end of level 20.
Yeah, or get to the end, or hit 20, because you're level 20, aren't you?
Yeah, if not.
Yeah, well, I'm level 19, I've got another level to go yet, so I will crack on with that when we finish the show, actually.
Yeah.
But they've all appeared, obviously, I think that's what it is. I think another one will probably pop up.
But I mean, I think that the great thing is now is that cross-play is on here, and it doesn't matter what platform you're on, you can play with each other. And they have their own sort of like friends system, so you can invite people to be in your friends group who are different on different platforms.
Yeah, because you've got a hashtag now with a number, haven't you?
Yeah, you have, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It works brilliantly. I mean, it was no problem for us to all get together and then doing the... was it the Prestige, the ship mission?
Yeah, because you were just picking them up.
Yeah,
I've got some news to talk about as well with Destiny. I don't know if you've heard the news.
No, I haven't heard news.
Okay. So, beginning February the 22nd, the Forsaken campaign and Tangled Shore destination will enter the Vaulted system.
Oh, yes, I have heard about this because people have been going crackers over this.
Yeah. So just before then, what's going to happen is for people that haven't played it or haven't played it, it's going to be becoming free to play as well.
Yes.
So that becoming free to play, I think, see when it is, December the 7th. So, and then that part of year 4 is going to vanish like the other
Everything else
has gone. Yeah, it's going to go away. Venmus. And it's got, what they're going to do is they're going to keep the existing battlegrounds and stuff like that. They're going to shift all some of that into another area so we don't lose it. And also the prestige and stuff like that. I think it's the prestige which is involved in that. That's getting moved as well, so we won't lose that exotic.
Yeah.
But so that will disappear on February the 22nd, and obviously we're going to have all the new content start for the next year, for year 5. And I'm sure all linked to the new content. Then it will. There's the reason why. I can see why people are moaning about it, but if they're giving us different areas and they want to keep the size of the game to a certain point, which they don't want to have it go belly up due to the file size, you know. But then they're going to bring other stuff back, aren't they? Going to be bringing back another old raid. Please get to Crota. Please get to Crota. I think that raid was the one we had fun the most.
I remember playing Crota the first time that we ever did it. And we're us spending about 3 hours getting absolutely nowhere on it until at the end of it, it just used to be right, give us a minute, I'll just get to the end and I'll kill the thing, and then everybody else could just run straight through.
Because what you did at the beginning of it, you jumped down, and obviously you had those little mini towers that would warm up at a certain point.
And would explode.
But you'd have you go first because you would go invisible.
Yeah, because hunters could go invisible by kneeling.
That's it, and we would follow behind you to get up to the top. Take out the boss at that point there, go across that bridge into the next part. We used to cheese the next bridge.
Yeah, we did.
Going through there into the next part and out to the last main section. But it was such fun, that one. I'd love to see that back. I think I would be so annoyed if we do get it back.
I'm sure it will come back. It's got to come back. And to be honest, I like that one much more than I did like the Vault of Glass. I was never a fan of the Vault of Glass.
Unfortunately. See, if you play a lot of Crucible, everybody's using that weapon from the Vault of Glass at the moment.
I know.
And the Vexmither class is owning everybody. And I did throw a video on our little freeway chat on how to do it. Because
yeah, but you have to have someone who's already got to that point, the Athian point, haven't you?
Or if not, just run it from the scratch. And that video, I think it shows you how to, you know. But it's not about... Even though you've got to have certain weapons, the weapons are all overpowered anyway, that we have to a certain degree. So it's about doing it more than anything. But yeah, I mean, when that goes, it'd be, you know, I know I can see why people are missed, because if you've paid for that content and it's going away, you spend that money.
Yeah, I think the most people who would be miffed are those people who have bought it, hardly played it, and then thinking, I'll come back to it later. But it's a server-based game, and they're never going to stay static.
No. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure if they're going to make us all happy by bringing something else back anyway, as a part of the, you know. But, yeah, that was just seeing that melt Twitter at one point. Everyone was going on about it, you know.
Oh, it was so funny, wasn't it?
But I know, and I was listening to Destiny Gary talk about it on his YouTube channel, and he said, well, if you don't, you know, you can stand a point and not buy stuff or do this and that. He said, yeah, people tried that in Call of Duty, but all those people that did that standing still went and paid for it and played it anyway, so... It don't, you know, just go with the flow, really.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, but we've got the 30th anniversary coming shortly. And the Galahorn, if you're going to buy the pack, the Galahorn will be there at some point.
Should have been the Icebreaker.
Yes, I missed that one as well.
My favourite gun in the game ever.
Hiding in that corner, using the Icebreaker as a way to get the main boss on that one certain run we did.
The amount of times that I soloed Nightfall on just using the blooming Icebreaker.
But it's funny now, when I do the Nightfalls every week, I'll go and match made in the heroic one.
Yeah.
I just use my bow. I just use the bow, and it just works so well.
It does if you hang back.
But with 3 of you all doing whatever, I've done a couple of times where we've actually, and last week's Nightfall, we actually did it within the limit to go and get another drop. I've really got the buzz back with Destiny. There's not a lot of games that can do that right now. Yeah,
I had the buzz back, but I'm starting to recede a little bit now, because I think I'm a bit sick of the Shattered Realm grind, but fortunately we've got the event coming on. Yeah,
that's done. There's obviously going to be one. There's going to be one to do, which will be the harder version of that.
I thought that it was the Astral Alignment that they were doing the harder version.
Oh, it might be Astral Alignment.
Yeah.
And then also I heard there's going to be another mission to complete, to take the link to the witches stuff to do with that. But we'll see. I mean, it might actually, what will happen is we'll probably get that event happen if you're around there at the right time.
Yes. Well, that's what the 30th anniversary stuff's supposed to be about, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's been really good, and I've really enjoyed us, the three of us, picking up as well. You know, where that sort of left off. Well, you know, I'm picking that up again. It's always nice having a game with Mark.
Yeah, and the last other thing is obviously when the Tangled Shore goes, Spider.
Yeah.
His currency is going to go to Master Raoul on the tower, so we won't lose any of that.
Yeah, because the amount of times that I've traded resources for Glimmer, I do it every week, probably about 2 or 3 times.
Oh, I haven't done it yet for a while because I've just got to a certain point and I'm just spending it.
Yeah, well, so have I, because what light level are you now?
I think I can probably check if the game's running, isn't it? I'm a bit behind you two, because you're in front of me, weren't you?
Yeah.
I think I'm 1343.
Yeah, I'm 1346.
Yeah, so there's far way to go for the other Nightfall yet.
Yeah, that's the killer, because on all of the other challenges for every week up until this week, by this time I've completely completed them all. But obviously this time I haven't, because we've got the Grandmaster Nightfall, and that will definitely need 3 of us. And the minimum amount is a 3, 4, 5 to enter that. That's the weekly challenge, so you need to go into your season. It's not on there, it's not on that screen, Steve. You need to go onto the director as opposed to your character.
Oh, okay.
And then go into the season.
Oh, don't worry about it now. I've got things to talk about.
Yeah, but you've got to complete a Grandmaster for this week's weekly challenge.
Yeah, I haven't completed all of them yet anyway. They'll get done as they get done.
Yeah, well, we tried going in earlier on a Master Nightfall, and the 3 of us, we couldn't get past the first bit, could we? So, but we were a lot lower light power then.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was also a lot easier Nightfall.
No, they're difficult. And so some of those, I've done a couple of the, the missions down in the bunkers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When you go solo, I got a couple of bits and pieces for doing it.
The Lost Sectors.
Yeah. So I've done a couple of those on my own. Got the chest at the end.
Yeah, me and Mark did one of the legendary Lost Sectors.
You've got to try it on your own, mate. That's the kiddie. That was a tough one, that was, doing it on your time, because that's where you get your exotic stuff.
Yeah.
I've got some boots and stuff, but you can't get any other way other than that, unfortunately.
When I actually look, all of the only exotics I haven't got are the ones that are on the Nightfall. On the raid.
Yeah, but there are ones in the Lost Sectors when you go solo.
Not according to the list. I've got all of them.
Yeah, there is. There's only certain ones you can get in there as well.
Exotic, not legendary.
Exotic, yeah. There is exotic armour you can only get in those little fun packets to do.
Right,
But,
I'll have a look.
but you might pop on later when I'm on. I don't know. But as soon as this is finished, I'll be jumping on anyway.
Yeah, well, I'll be edited.
Yeah, it won't take 5 minutes though, will it?
It doesn't nowadays. Remember when it used to take me hours?
Should we move on? Because people have fallen asleep. Let's talk about Destiny.
Yeah, let's move on. So we'll go into movies, TV, and streaming.
In quest of a better life,
All right, so movies, TV, and streaming. I haven't really got much. Well, I haven't put any news in here, Steve. Have you got any movie news?
No, I think all the movie news is more to do with James Bond. I think at the moment, there's lots of talk about who's going to take over from him. There's all these theories we won't go into now anyway, because we can use some of that.
I think one bit of news is about the Expanse is coming back. Did you ever watch the Expanse?
No, I haven't, no.
Oh, you'll really enjoy it, Steve. It took me a couple of goes to get into it, but once I did, I was hooked. Obviously, it's a sci-fi story about our solar system and about, humans who have gone out into the outer reaches of the solar system. And then there's sort of like this alien proto-molecule, and lots of things happen over the course of 5 seasons. Anyway, it's on Prime, and its last season is coming, and I believe it's about December. It's coming out, so looking forward to that. That'll be really, really good. Other than that, I think that there's the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City trailer out, isn't there, as well, that people can see?
Don't know what for the Netflix show.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at that yet. Is the last Spider-Man trailer out yet? You know.
No, not yet.
I'm just waiting to see that after watching. I did actually watch Spider-Man 2 the other night.
Far From Home.
No, the Tobey Maguire one.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Which has got Doc Ock in it.
Yes.
Because he's coming back in that, as we know, in the new film, isn't he? And it's the same character playing it as well, which is a weird crossover, which we're going to get anyway.
I think that the idea is it's supposed to be the same Doc Ock.
It is. It is the same. It's the same actor as well.
Yeah, but also the Green Goblin as well.
Yeah, but then I've heard rumours. I'm assuming this is to do with the timey-wimey stuff. That Tobey Maguire's going to be in it, and so is the other Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
It's not timey-wimey. It's the
well, it's the multiverse, isn't it?
Multiverse. Yeah.
That's why I call it timey-wimey.
Yeah. So basically, on Loki, that was all about the multiverse and the fact that there was the Prime timeline, and Loki and Sylvie sort of
broke it.
Yeah, cocked it up. Well, to be fair, Loki tried. Well, we're not going to say, but it ended up getting cocked up, and it also introduced the next Thanos level sort of baddie to the universe as well. So it'd be
interesting to see the trailer because what's going to be.
Yeah,
weird. I mean, I do like. See, don't get me wrong. I know Tobey Maguire can seem a bit of a wimp compared to the others, maybe, but I did enjoy Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3 wasn't as good, but I did.
No, it wasn't as good, but it was okay. I would have liked to have seen that trilogy go to a quadrilogy. I really enjoyed that Spider-Man. You know, Tobey Maguire. I never thought I would like a Spider-Man as much as Tobey Maguire's, but I have to say Tom Holland, he's done a fantastic job.
Oh, he has, yeah, absolutely. But the guy in the middle only had a bit of one shot, didn't he? A couple of shots at it.
Yeah, he had two. Yeah. He was okay, but if you know what I mean, he was a bit too cool to be Peter Parker. Peter Parker's always been sort of like a shy, kind of like nerdy kid, and I think Tobey Maguire, that was just Tobey Maguire, and I think Tom Holland does that role quite well as well. Whereas Andrew Garfield, he was almost too much of a hipster sort of Spider-Man. It just didn't feel right to me.
Yeah, I can't think of the tennis player who reminds me of now. Not
Hedman.
It wasn't Tim Hedman, it was the other guy.
Right.
But
anyway, let's move on to cinema releases. So this, 11th, we've got The Ghosts of Borley Rectory. Sounds interesting. What I'm looking forward to, and I've just realised I'm going to be taking my son to probably see this next week now that I know it's out, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Because when my son saw this, his eyes lit up like little Christmas trees. The Last Duel, Halloween Kills, Ron's Gone Wrong, and The Beta Test. So I want to see
Halloween. I'd like to see Halloween Kills end of the month, nearer Halloween if I can.
Yeah.
That's when I want to go and see it. So,
do you know what? Last year I bought Halloween on Blu-ray, and I've not watched it because
which one?
The latest one, or the sequel to the original.
Well, no, you want to
with Jamie Lee Curtis in when she's older.
Yeah, that one that came out 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I bought that on Blu-ray.
Well, you need to watch that before you see Halloween Kills. So.
Yeah, but what I've done is I've not watched it because I wanted to watch it on Halloween.
Well, that's right. You might not get to see Halloween Kills for a while anyway, but
yeah.
But yeah, no. It's I saw that. When did I see that? Yeah, just after when I saw John Carpenter on stage in concert, because he actually premiered some of the footage of it in the concert.
Yeah.
When he was doing the Halloween track.
Anyway, do you want to do the Blu-ray releases?
Okay, so for your viewing pleasure, we have Code 404. I don't know whether it's Series 2 DVD and Series 1 and Series 2 DVD. So.
That's a Sky series about two British cops, one of which has got AI built into his brain because he died and they sort of resurrected him.
We have Collateral, which I think is 4K Blu-ray, which will be the Tom Cruise movie, I would assume. We've got Fast and Furious 9 4K Steelbook. We've got Fast and Furious 9 4K Blu-ray, DVD, and the 1 to 9 collection and 4K as well, if you really want to go all out. We've got Frank Herbert's Dune 2000.
I didn't even know there was a Dune 2000. It's interesting.
I think that's a TV series, maybe.
Oh, yeah, of course it will be. It'll be the one with McAvoy. Yeah, which was quite good.
Then you've got at the bottom there, you've got The Walking Dead, Well Beyond Season 1, and you've got Unbreakable 4K Blu-ray. I'm going to add, because it's coming up to Halloween, I'm going to add Friday the 13th, 8th movie collection steelbook. I've got that collection already.
I completely missed that one.
Also something called Help. It's got Jodie Comer in it, who was in Killing Eve.
Yeah.
She's a very good actress. Anything else in there?
If you like Ryan Reynolds, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Also, there's a Sean Connery one there, Hunt for Red October, 4K.
Yeah, that's good. Unbreakable, 4K.
Yep. So yeah,
I didn't really rate it, but there's a Walking Dead World Beyond.
I don't know what that is. No.
It's the latest spin-off of The Walking Dead. Because obviously that's coming up to the last one.
Do you want to do the cinema charts then?
Yep, so at number 5 we've got the many...
10.
Yeah, no, put 10 in, but we'll just do the 5.
Oh, okay.
The Many Saints of Newark. At number 4, the Paw Patrol movie. At number 3, Free Guy, which is really funny, quite good. Number 2 is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And at number 1, it's the Powderpuff Girls. No, it's not really. It's No Time to Die.
So is that the British?
That's the British one.
It's got a long way to go to meet what it cost to make it then.
Yeah, but that's just for this week, isn't it? It's only been out a week.
That's the UK. That's the European one. 25 million. Well, still 26 actually.
So, Blu-ray DVD chart. We've got In the Heights, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Number 3 is Ghost in the Shell, which is the anime version, which is really good. Number 2 is Black Widow, and at number 1 we've got Doctor Who, The Evil of the Daleks.
I don't even know what generation of Doctor that is, to be honest.
I have no idea either. But I'll tell you what I did watch recently was the Peter Cushing version of Doctor Who.
Oh, I got those. Yeah,
I've got them as well. But they were on. It was on TCM or something or other like that. And I was flicking through the channels, and I thought, oh, I'll watch this for 5 minutes. Ended up watching.
So was that? Which one was it? Was it the one?
It was the first one where they go to the Daleks' home world and
Skaro.
Skaro and all of that.
Didn't it have? He's a record breaker.
Yes, it did. Yeah, Roy Castle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Bernard Cribbins was in the second one though, wasn't he? I can't remember if he was or not now.
Yes, he was. Yeah, it was Roy Castle on this one.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what was really jarring was when Roy Castle turned around and says, "Doctor Who," because it's the Doctor. It's not Doctor Who. The name. I know, but
those films did have that as Doctor Who. Yeah, I know it's.
Yeah, it was a bit jarring as somebody who has watched.
Just quickly on that. I know I'm still I'm still behind, obviously. But the new series starts on the 31st of October. Is that correct?
Evidently.
And the good news is
it's going to end.
No. The good news is that Stephen Moffat is coming back to the helm.
Oh, please, God, bring somebody back who actually knows about Doctor Who.
No, Stephen Moffat was the one that started.
No, I know. That's what I mean. Please bring back somebody who knows about Doctor Who.
Yeah. Because
when he did the Chris Eccleston and all of that, it was great. But honestly, Kermit the Frog would have done a better job than the last lot.
There was a Instagram short video from I call her Rose. Yeah, and someone said to her, "Would you come back?" She said, "Do you know what? If the time was right, I wouldn't mind coming back if it's the right story." Hint. So, but it's coming up to its 60th anniversary.
Yes.
So, would we now see another sort of similar sort of 5 Doctor scenario?
I don't know, but we are going to see this Doctor going. We know that.
Yeah.
And that they've evidently said that they're going to do something really edgy with Doctor Who. Well, why not? Why not do something really edgy with Doctor Who and make him just a white male? Because that would buck every trend going at the moment.
Oh, if only I could talk to you what me and our missus were talking about when watching No Time to Die.
We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, but we will.
To be honest, I don't care. I don't care who plays Doctor Who next, because as far as I'm concerned, the Timeless Child episode, it showed me that the BBC has no respect for its probably greatest franchise.
But I think Stephen Moffat could change that. I think he could actually hit the reset button somewhere for that.
I think that it needs to, because it's not Jodie Foster is it not Jodie Whittaker? Sorry, It's getting
Oh,
late.
I don't mind
It's
Jodie
getting
Foster
out of
playing.
time.
That'd be interesting.
Jodie Foster playing it would be really good, but
Yeah.
Jodie Whittaker is a fine actress. The problem with her Doctor Who character has been poor writing. Nothing else.
No,
It's not her. It's nothing to do with her. I would say, as a doctor, I think she could have been really great, but the writing has been totally wrong. And where they've tried to do the sort of like eccentricities of Matt Smith,
Excuse me, I'm just going to.
it hasn't worked. Sorry, it hasn't worked because she looked more like a bimbo than she did look like Matt Smith, and that's not because of her. That's because of the writing of what she was saying.
Oh, I think we have mentioned this before, but we didn't go too much. But yeah, so Stephen Moffat's coming back.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see where it goes, especially for the 60th anniversary.
Absolutely.
Which would be, they need to pay it respect.
They
can do something like what they did for the Five Doctors, which is still one of my favourites.
I mean, I think it's a shame that Jodie Whittaker couldn't stay on for.
Foster, didn't you?
I do, because I just got Jodie Foster on the mind now. I think it's a shame that Jodie Whittaker's not staying on for an extra season with Stephen Moffat to see how good a doctor she really could be.
Well, she might be in. They might do the Three Doctors scenario. Have her, Matt Smith, and David Tennant.
What about Peter Capaldi?
Yeah, make it four.
And Christopher Eccleston. That'd be interesting because he's never reprised the role.
No, what did I was watching this is going right off topic, and I can't remember what it was called. I was watching a horror film with the missus, and it was about these kids that were breaking into this house of a doctor who's in medicine science, and the tables got turned because they were really nasty to them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sylvester McCoy played the doctor. He was really good in it. It was quite good.
Sylvester McCoy and the words really good and the doctor are not things that are ever used in the same sentence.
No, but not for this. He played this doctor in this film as medical science doctor.
All right, okay, not the doctor.
No, it was playing a doctor in his character, and the tables got turned, and they were really nasty to the people that broke in.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I think it's a real shame, though, seriously, that the first female doctor has had such poor scripts. But I would still like to see what do you call her, who played. She was on the Peep Show. I can see her face. Can't think of her name. She was up for Doctor Who as well.
Well, should we do a segue into what we've been watching? Or I will do a segue.
Yeah, okay. Just be 1 second though. Just let me think of the. You know when you want to look, you look some up. Olivia Colman. That's it. Let's get her as Doctor Who.
The Queen.
Yeah, let's get her as Doctor Who. There we go.
That would have been one of my choices originally, to be honest, if they were going to do that.
Let's have her as the next one. Anyway, go on then, Steve.
So my segue was film I watched last night on Sky. I think it's on Netflix in some countries.
Got it.
Was Gunpowder Milkshake. You've heard of it?
I've heard of it. This is the one with Karen Gillan.
It certainly is. And basically what it is, it's about her. She's an assassin.
Yeah.
Her mother lets her down early in the movie, and she despises her and never sees her again. No spoilers there. But she becomes an assassin, the tails are turned, and she accidentally shoots. Well, she doesn't that. She's on a mission, and she shoots this guy, and her daughter is left, and the daughter tags along, and at the same time, big firm are after them, and it's a load of, I would have put it, it's trying to be John Wick, but it isn't, because there's no way that Karen can be that sort of character. But no. She does a fine, good attempt at the film, and it's worth a watch. Put your brain out of your head, put it in the bucket.
Well, she's a great actress.
She is, and it's not a bad film, actually. I did enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah.
And also in that was, can't remember her name now, I'll tell you in a sec. Her name is Michelle Yeoh.
Yes.
She was alongside Pierce Brosnan in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yes, she was. She was also, she's also on Star Trek Discovery.
Yes, she is.
She was also on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, but I think I remember her more for the Bond thing. Really, it sticks more in my head than the motorbike scene and everything. When she was doing the driving and he was pumping the clutch or whatever they were doing. She's
also on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, so I'd say well worth a watch. It's on Sky at the moment, and seeing Karen Gillan kick ass in that sort of. I don't think I've ever seen in a film like this sort before.
Have you ever not seen her in Jumanji then?
Yes, but that's a game because that is a fictional game they're in.
Yeah.
But she's an assassin. proper assassin, and she's got like a big bag. She walks in. There's one scene where she walks into this library, which is a library to do with the assassins, and she's got like a big carrier bag, hold on, full of weapons in there, and they're getting her saying, "These are a bit old school. We need to give you something else." And she, honestly, just watch it, park your brain at home, and check it out, or even check the trailer out first. Give you a bit of an idea. It has got that Kill Bill, I don't know, slight Tarantino or John Wick style to it. Even the missus enjoyed it as well.
She might do. Who knows? My missus is very weird in terms of the stuff that was. But I mean, Karen Gillian. I mean, she plays Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy in the Marvel universe, and that's a real tough ass character as well.
Yeah. But this one is there's no real spoiler. There's one scene where she's been given an injection to both her arms and she can't use her hands, and she gets the girl to tape on one hand the gun and the other hand a knife, and she starts jousting into the guy when she's trying to have this fight. Honestly, there's lots of blood in it.
I'll have to have a look, because I've been fancying the look of that.
Yeah, very much so. So the second thing I watched, which I'm surprised you've not had a sniff of this yet, is Squid Games.
Okay.
Have you heard about it? Because if you have, you've been under a rock. If you haven't,
I'm trying to remember what it is. Just remind. Is this the? Oh, this is the one that's on Netflix, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is a Korean TV series, only 9 episodes, and it's all based around one of the characters, and he's hit hard times, and he's gambling his money away, and they're all in debt and everything else. It's probably true what Korea's like at the minute.
Is it what do you call it? Is it dubbed or is it
subtitles? You can either have the dubbed version or the Korean with subtitles. It's your choice.
Right.
I did it with subtitles, but I'm gonna go back and watch it in English as well. Honestly, so this this guy, he's been really having a bit of a hard time, and he gets given the opportunity to do this game. He gets given his card and ring this number, and he's got to be
and then this wipes out the debt, doesn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, well, you win. No, if you win the game, you win the money in the game, and there's about I'm going to say it's like 200 people to start with, and each time someone is eliminated from the game, the money in this big piggy that sits in the ceiling drops more money in it, and the person standing at the end wins all the money. That's as much as I say about it. Very good, very interesting. You get to love the characters. There's some twists and turns in the show. Only 9 episodes. There's even some of the outfits out for Halloween now as well. It's got to that point where you can now buy some of the kit for it. There's some. So I'm not sure. I've not really looked into what some of these actors have done in this show, but it's very first class, very lovable with some of the characters there. You get to sort of know them, and very interesting to see if you were put in this scenario, what would you do? And it's not like Battle Royale, but it isn't if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or my missus said, this reminds me of the Hunger Games, and I said, no, I know where you're coming from, but yeah, honestly, go and check it out. I think every man and a dog have been watching this at the moment.
Yeah, and, I keep looking at it and I keep thinking...
It's number one on the... they have like a top 5, don't they, on Netflix?
Yeah, they do. It's number 1.
It's number 1 at the moment. And I'm not going to start pronouncing some of their names because they're all Lee Chow and Gonjo and all of that.
Yeah, but, I've been watching... on Netflix, I've been watching a series instead, which is... Love on the Spectrum, so it's just about people who are on the autistic spectrum, starting relationships, which is more of a real life kind of thing. But obviously, I don't know why I started watching it. To be fair, I think I was just bored and I wanted to watch something totally different to what I would normally watch.
Yeah,
but I ended up watching the whole sort of season, which was only a few episodes, but that was quite interesting.
So I didn't actually know, because I've not seen on I just started watching it, and I wondered how much because the Korean currencies, I think it's called Won, but it's the equivalent of $38 million that they can win by the end of it.
That'd solve a few problems.
It would do. But it's how the games are played and how you react to the games and everything else.
Yeah.
Very, very clever. Very clever.
Definitely.
Anyway, what have you been watching? Because I've only got one more thing to talk about briefly.
Yeah. Well, is that Bond?
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that last, shall we? So, I've already mentioned in the intro that I've been watching Marvel Phase 1. I've also been watching What If? Have you seen this?
No, I haven't. No,
Right.
I know I know what it's about, and you've told me before a little bit.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, What If is an exploration of what if certain things happened in the MCU differently, and it's looking into parts of the multiverse. So as you may know or not, that there is a ultimate Ultron that has the Infinity Stones, and on this particular one, Vision never happens, and Ultron gets Vision's body as he originally sort of developed, and manages to nab all of the cosmic stones, because Thanos appears on Earth, and Ultron just lasers in him half and takes all of the gems out of his gauntlet straight away, out of the Infinity Gauntlet. And it's based around a character who's the Watcher, who's looking at all of these different universes, or different versions of reality. And there's some really good stuff. So there's like Captain Carter as opposed to Captain America. So what if Captain Carter got the injection instead of Steve Rogers?
Yeah. And
stuff like that in there. And what is really good is it's got 4 outings of Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther stroke Star-Lord.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the ones is, what if the character of, or the Black Panther got kidnapped by, and taken up into space instead of Peter Quill back in the 80s. And that one was quite funny, actually, because he actually managed to stop Thanos and make him part of his team. So, seeing all of these sort of like real differences in the story is quite good, but then they all add up together, so eventually you get the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Oh, okay.
And each season I think there's going to be a multiverse sort of baddie, so it's already confirmed there's going to be a season 2, but they're obviously 25-30 minute episodes, so it's a movie shrunk down into that amount of time, but also made out of animation, sort of like shaded animation. But it's really, really enjoyable to watch. My son's loved it as well. It's been our sort of Wednesday night ritual. We'll stick on What If and watch that. And then the other thing I've been watching right the way through all the seasons has been Battlestar Galactica, the reboot.
Yeah, I'm very early on in it, where I originally watched it. So
yeah.
I've got to carry on watching it at some point.
Well, after the last season, because there was only 4 seasons, which I think was about 2011, I was actually, as a leaving present from where I used to work, was given the entire box set of Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
So I've never actually watched it. As a matter of fact, it was all wrapped up until a couple of weeks ago.
Is it the tin copy?
No, it's the individual each season box set. And anyway, I unwrapped it all and I watched the whole lot right the way through. Not super quickly. I watched 2 or 3 a night, kind of thing. Enough. That's why I haven't been doing a lot of gaming as well, to be honest. And thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, Edward James Olmos, who plays Adama, is brilliant in it, as is Mary McDonnell, who plays President Laura Roslin. I loved what they did with the characters. Yes, they made Starbuck female. It didn't harm the story in any way. Matter of fact, what I really liked about it is where they changed characters from the way that they were in the original 80s TV series to this, is they ended up having a purpose for doing it. So, Starbuck became female for a purpose, as it were.
Yeah. I mean, I don't spoil it for me, because although I know one little thing, because obviously the hidden part of the series is not knowing who the Cylons are, because they're human form.
Yes.
And I don't want that spoiled. Thank you.
I'm not going to spoil that for you. I'm not going to spoil that for anyone.
I think if I looked in YouTube, I think you can probably see that. I don't know.
I don't think it'd take very much.
I just remember seeing the blonde and the red dress. Her.
Yeah, Tracy Heffler.
Yeah. Oh, dear me. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, she is a stunning woman.
She's not my my other stunning woman. We'll talk about in a minute, because
Yeah, but really, you got to finish off watching that, Steve, because it's a great series.
I mean, me and Mrs. were watching it originally, so
Yeah. Here's the thing for you, and I don't know if you'll actually even pick this up, but the guy who plays Baltar was Bridget Jones's gay friend on the Bridget Jones movies.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The one who had his mobile phone. He said, well, do you remember in Bridget Jones? He was picking up a new Nokia phone, wasn't he? He said, "Oh, aren't you the one that?" "Yes, it's me." He's going like this.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. And his Baltar character is so different from that. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
But
he reminds me a little bit of someone from Star Trek as well. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah. But I really can't wait until you see the end of this, because the end of Battlestar Galactica was very divisive among fans.
Mm.
And I want to see what you think before I'm going to tell you what I think.
And I don't know if I don't think I've got them, because there was another couple of specials that came out after the series.
Yeah, there is. There was Blood and Chrome, which I've got the Cylon Raider for on my what do you call it, collection.
Oh yeah, okay.
My Eagle Moss.
Excuse me, yeah.
And what else was there? There was The Plan as well, which was a two-parter. So
and then also there was a TV show. Was it called Caprice?
Caprica.
Caprica, sorry. Yeah.
Because it was named after the planet.
That's it.
I
don't know where I'm not sure where the timeline that sits.
That's before. So that's a prequel. So it's Adama's father that mainly features. Blood and Chrome is, if I remember rightly, it's Adama when he was a younger man.
So it doesn't matter too much if I don't see him then. I remember seeing him out, and you probably think it was really cheap if you wanted to anyway. Well,
you can, but
you
it's all...
might get it on Prime or something even, actually.
No, the thing is, all of season 1 to 4 of Battlestar Galactica is currently free to watch on BBC iPlayer.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to pay a penny to watch it.
No, I got the Blu-ray. I got my Blu-ray box set. I got the tin box set, the Cylon box set.
Yeah.
Came out.
Yeah. But it's a great show.
Yeah, it was very well received, if I remember rightly at the time.
Yeah, but the ending was very divisive. But I really liked the ending. I liked the way that they did it because it was unexpected.
And I tell you, I did like it. I think the name's Lee Park.
Lee Park.
Yeah, because she ends up being in the 550, the TV series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lee Park got a Chinese descent, I think.
Yeah, she was a boomer.
I don't know who she. I can't remember who she was in it. I don't think if I've seen her in it yet. I'm not quite 100% sure if I was, but I won't look on there anyway because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, Lee Park, I think her name is.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who it was. Get up. No, that was Grace Park.
Grace Park. I do apologise, but I'm nearly there.
And I think on there as well there was Zelda, wasn't there? Lucy Lawless.
Okay.
Because she plays a recurring character.
Yeah.
Really good. And Ronald D. Moore, of course, who was producer of the show, which we know from other things. So yeah, well worth a watch. Definitely got to watch Battlestar Galactica. Anyway, Steve, what was the other bit that you were going to add on there? Because I thought also the last season of Lucifer is out now, and I've sat and watched all of that. It was okay. I don't want to say any more than that, but it was okay.
Yeah. So one last little thing for a little brief 5 minute, no longer, no spoilers. Just initial thoughts on what you thought of the film with James Bond.
For me, I'm going to say.
So first thing is, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did, and I'm actually going to say that for once. This Daniel Craig movie felt like a Bond movie, because every other Bond movie he's done has felt like the Bourne Identity to me. It hasn't felt like Bond. Whereas this felt like a Bond movie.
That was funny. That was where I think they were going at the time, weren't they? To give it a bit more. But especially when Casino Royale came out. I think Casino Royale and Skyfall were a couple of my big favourites that he's done. I'm not going to say anything about where I put this at the minute, but I did enjoy the film. I sort of guessed that. All I'm going to say is that obviously from the trailer, I knew that would be the beginning of the movie. That's obvious, because they don't like to give too much away in the trailers. No. So you knew that would be. I liked that they did a long pre-title sequence. That's now the longest one in history for Bond, which overtakes Tomorrow Never Dies, which is the one where they use the speedboat in the boat in the water up to the O2 arena.
Yeah, that was good.
Because that was 14 minutes long, that one, which was originally cut down. But
you see, to me, Pierce Brosnan was the last person who did Bond, if you know what I mean, the pure Bond sort of approach. Whereas I've never been a fan of this hybrid, Bond that Craig's brought to it. I've always felt he's never, even though in Layer Cake he was very suave.
I love Layer Cake.
Yeah.
I got that Blu-ray. I love the movie.
But
Brilliant.
in Layer Cake he's very, very suave and like a Bond. You can imagine him as Bond. But for some reason he seemed to have degenerated into a gorilla to play Bond, and I've never understood it. But at least on this movie, I feel like he felt like Bond for the first time to me.
Well, the surprise of this for me was Ana de Armas, who I adore her. She's absolutely gorgeous, and she was a big favourite of mine in Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, she was the second
hologram.
Yeah, but she was the agent, wasn't she? That Bond met
in Cuba. Yeah, but but she ended. Unfortunately, she had a short duration in the. I think I'd love to see her do more of that sort of stuff. I mean, she was awesome.
Oh, yeah, wouldn't mind seeing her do some more of that sort of stuff. She was really action-packed on it. She was really good.
Unfortunately, Rami Malek was underused for me, personally.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But we're going to go into the whys and whats. But, yeah, I think he was definitely underused, unfortunately.
I have to say, when Rami Malek was selected, I didn't think that was a mistake, but I thought that they were going to go in a very specific direction, which we'll talk about on the...
But I will say this because I've said this, I even said it in the Wrong Reel podcast, and I've been saying it on Twitter for the last year, that I always thought, in my head, he would come out and we would find out that he would be Dr. No.
Okay, you completely spoiled what I was going to say, because that's exactly what I thought as well. Because
I've always been adamant that was my thought on the character. When I saw that he was announced, and I thought, "Oh my God, he looks like Dr. No."
Yeah,
but we can say that because that was just something that was on the internet anyway, and I would have put money on it. That was the way it was going to go.
I'm going to say this, Steve. I don't ever remember you saying that to me, and I don't ever remember reading you say that.
Well, I can point you to.
I had exactly the same thought.
I will point you to my Twitter. I've got it on there, but.
Yeah, I have to, like I said, Steve, I use Twitter to upload to. I don't particularly read Twitter.
So when I looked at him and they said, I said, "Oh, that's interesting." And obviously I thought we've had Blofeld come back, and stuff like that. And I thought, I just wonder if he's going to be Dr. No, but it's going to be the Star Trek way of saying it. So where we had John Harrison, the character in Into Darkness, and who he obviously turned out to be Khan. I thought that's how that was going to come about, maybe, as a play on it.
I think that would have been a really good twist.
But then there's funny, more I can...
I heard you say that, and I thought exactly the same thing.
But there's more I could say, which we won't say, because there's things I'd like to talk about that I won't talk about. But, I mean, for him, unfortunately, Ana de Armas, she was superb. I think I was a bit touchy about the score from Hans Zimmer, but he did a good job. And that's all I'm going to say why, because I don't want to mention more than that regarding the score.
Okay.
I think...
I quite enjoyed the score.
Yeah, I think it did really well. And, I understand we had a director change halfway through. Possibly the storyline as well, which we're not going to talk about the plot. Could have possibly been, another change that would have happened because with the directors changing, I think there may have been rewrites or something, and all these problems that were happening at the time. But what goes into making a Bond film is a lot of energy and a lot of dedicated time. Did you see the ITV or did you see it on Apple being James Bond?
No.
Have you not watched that yet?
I've got it recorded, but I haven't watched it because I thought I want to see that, but I don't want to get any type of possible spoilers, so I recorded it.
Well, I watched it before I saw the film, and there's no spoilers in it.
Right. I wasn't risking it. Like I said, I have deliberately stayed away from absolutely anything on this movie.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of documentaries. There's one on Daniel Craig being Bond as well, where looking back over his career with it, and you see some screen tests for him to do it as well, which is really good to see. Which they did get every actor that they've got to choose from. Yeah. And I don't want to say more than that because I've got my thoughts on that. But I did enjoy it. It's not the best Bond in the world. There are better.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy. I got me money's worth out of it, shall we say?
Oh yeah, it was definitely worth seeing.
Yeah. I don't think there's much more I can really say other than that at the minute. without going into other territories, which I don't want to do because there's still a lot of people to go and see it. And if
Yeah.
we talk about it in a special podcast, they know they can listen to that at their if and when they've seen the film.
We will definitely make sure that it will be spoiler podcast number 1.
But it'd be just nice to go over a few things. There's a lot I want to talk about, which I'll mention to you when we finish this in a minute.
I did love the visit of a lot of the old cars as well.
Yeah, well, we had that in Skyfall as well, didn't we? As well.
Well, you had the DB6, but you didn't have
5.
the 5 rather, but you didn't have the DB. Was it 7?
Yeah, no. Well, I think no. Don't say anything else. No point mentioning anything else.
Well, I don't think it's a spoiler saying that there was more than one type of Bond car there.
Well, I don't know, but I saw.
I know there was one Bond car that wasn't there that I would have really loved to have seen.
No, but they did use 2 in there. But
yeah, they did. And a matter of fact, the second Bond vehicle was actually the same model as I was taken to my wedding for.
Yeah, but it was used in another movie, but we're not going to say which one and what it was from. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, there's plenty to chew over on that, should we say?
Yeah.
You me. But it's very clever film. You see, I didn't know what the plot was, as in what I'm reading here on Internet Movie Database, for example. I didn't even know that when I watched it.
I didn't. It's one of those films of you want to protect yourself from as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day when you used to get to see about the next Bond film coming out, you would get some bits and pieces. They'd be on set. You'd get a little bit now and then. You'd hear about the 007 stage, and you'll see there'd be a BBC News thing, and they'd be saying, "Here we are in the new Bond," and it's like you've got all the submarines in there or whatever. But this has been kept under secrecy as much as they could, due to the fact that it's like 2 years before it was supposed to come out.
Yeah, because
if this had come out when it's supposed to, then we might know now who the next Bond is.
that is very true. For me, when we do the spoiler cast, I really want to talk to you about the future of the franchise.
Well, that's why I stayed to the end of the film. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Did you say to the very, very end?
Yes, because James Bond will return.
Exactly. That's enough. Didn't he say anymore?
It says that on every movie.
No, it doesn't actually. It didn't.
Almost every movie.
Almost every movie.
Sometimes it actually said which Bond movie he'd return in, and then it was a different one when he came back.
Well, no, there was a time when, obviously, when Live and Let Die came out, it did say he will return with Man with the Golden Gun. So some of those he did have that in there.
Yeah, but I think it was the one. I think it was the Spy Who Loved Me. It said James Bond will return in whatever it was, and it was a different one.
No, it was, yeah. But yeah.
Well, we can have a good conversation about it in the spoiler cast.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, we're going to move on, yeah?
Yeah, let's move on because we're 2.5 hours in nearly so far before we're adjusted for timings. So let's move on to our listener questions.
John, what's happening to us?
All right, so listener questions, and Mark couldn't be here with us because he's off on his holes with his family, evidently. So hope you're having a nice time there, Mark. But he did leave us some questions a couple of weeks ago, which I've copied over, and I've copied over a couple of other people's questions as well, just so we had some, because I didn't have time to post. So Mark's question is, can you see any surprises towards the festive season?
Well, from the Xbox point of view, I heard rumours. Now, these are just rumours, and they're quite a few rumours, but they're going to bring the back compat titles to the Xbox Series X to a certain point.
In what respect?
Well, bringing the titles. I don't know. I'm assuming some of them have been on Game Pass, but there was something I read about saying about bringing back compat back in the system. Now, I don't know if that means new titles or what.
I think it must do, because back compat,
well,
they all work on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, so
it must be new titles are added.
Maybe, yeah, could be.
Or unless are they doing like an upscaling to 4K on stuff and that?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, we haven't had the German game show yet, have we?
No, we've had EVX, haven't we? That's been, was it this weekend?
I don't know.
I have a funny feeling that some of our listeners might have been to it. Oh no, it's 28th and 29th is EGX. I thought there was one around that was on at some point recently, but never mind. So that's any other surprises that you see?
I don't know. Who knows? We could have, as you said, some more acquisitions from Microsoft or PlayStation.
Yeah, I think that we'll see some of that. I'm going to have a guess, and I'm saying that the Xbox expansion card is going to have a big price drop.
And also they're going to bring out, I think they could bring out a 5 terabyte one. Don't quote me on that, but that could be something.
That would be tremendously expensive, though. I think that we'll probably see by Christmas the 1 terabyte rather expansion to be about 150, because it has dropped recently down to that.
That's still too pricey though for me.
I know what you mean, but it is an NVMe sort of custom.
I couldn't care less if it had wings and it would fly, but do you know what I mean?
I just thought the other thing we never mentioned, of course, is that PlayStation has now opened up its architecture so that you can add your NVMe's on that as well, and there's certain ones that you can use on a PS5.
Yeah, it depends on the size, isn't it, and how it sits in the slot, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's
with the fans and everything else, and how it all comes together.
Yeah, but it's also there's only certain models that it will, and some you might have problems if you try using certain heat sinks on the back.
Yeah, but they're going to give you they're going to say which ones are what, aren't they? You know.
Yeah, and evidently what the people who've been having the most problems is because they've not put on the back plate back onto the case, because I thought it was enough having a heatsink, is what I'd heard. So, but yeah, I think there'll be a price drop in that expansion, because when I saw I put it on the Facebook group, when I saw the version, I think it was from France or somewhere like that, it was £150 which included £31 import duties. So it's bound to come down shortly.
We'll see.
Do you do his next question?
Okay, I'm just rearranging my screen. Okay, so what is your most anticipated release for the winter? Gaming, movie, or anything?
Movie-wise, Dune. I've gone full circle on this from, it's an abomination that this is going to get released.
It's only half of the book as well, isn't it? It's going to be a second part, probably.
Yeah, well, it's a whole series of books anyway.
No, yeah, what I'm saying is the actual book Dune is in 2 halves with this film. Yeah. So if it's successful, they make the second half.
Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh, absolutely. I am looking forward to The Matrix.
Definitely. And
seeing the trailer again just made me wet myself, I think, watching that sort of thing, you know what I mean? It just looks so good.
I mean, in terms of The Matrix, I've been... I regularly listen to a YouTube channel on it. It's called Matrix Explained, which is a really good channel. Goes through lots of Matrix lore and predictions for what the new movie's going to be about. Well worth it. If you're a fan of The Matrix, well worth a listen or a watch.
Yeah.
Very well produced sort of YouTube.
That's coming out for Christmas.
It is indeed.
I think there was another film as well. I'm trying to remember what other movie was coming out this year. Obviously, we've got Dune and that.
Well, there's the next Marvel movie as well, isn't there?
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else there was something else. What else did I see those trailer-wise? I'll go down to... So apparently, I've heard now the embargo's been lifted. I haven't really read too much, but apparently Ghostbusters Afterlife is getting a good feedback.
I do hope it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how that sits. Also, I did see the trailer for West Side Story, but I have seen the original film, but I won't be going to see that. So I might catch it and just have a look. Also, we're talking Ralph Fiennes, who played Mallory in Bond. He plays in The Kingsman.
Yes, I'm looking forward to Kingsman.
And that looks.
And of course, there's the Eternals next month as well.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for that.
Looks a bit different for Marvel. And December, we're obviously same day. We've got Spider-Man: No Way Home and The Matrix 4. And then just before Christmas, Kingsman.
Yeah. Then
Sherlock Holmes 3.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Is that going to be same people playing that?
Yes, Danny.
Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah. My brain's turned to custard. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, thank you.
Games. There's not a lot of games I'm really that fussed about at the moment. I'm just in a real gaming funk.
Oh, just want to say one other movie I do want to see. It just come out. I think it's coming out now, which is from Edgar Wright, which is Last Night in Soho.
Okay.
And former Doctor Who's in that as well, Matt Smith.
Oh yeah, because that's sort of like time traveling one, isn't it?
Yeah. It looks really good. I mean, Yeah.
Oh, not a time traveling one. It's a woman from the future who's having visions about a murder in the past.
Yeah, it's inspired actually by one of the movies I've got sitting in my collection called Donut Now.
Yeah.
Which I need to actually watch again. But yeah, it looks very good. I've got a lot of rave reviews for that.
Yeah, very cool.
So yeah, I mean, gaming wise, I'm looking forward to. Still looking forward to Halo. Let's see what that's going to be about. I just, when you hear the music, it sort of just makes you go goosebumpy.
No, I'm not bothered about Halo. Quite looking forward to the next Forza.
Yeah, that'd be run of the mill though, wouldn't it? It'd look lovely, wouldn't it?
It'll look lovely. It'll be just another one churned out of the Microsoft churn box.
Yeah. Other than that, I can't really think.
No, I think it's like the decision why we said we'd go sort of like fortnightly for a while is it's just a bit quiet. There's nothing really super fantastic coming.
No.
I think the last thing I was really excited about was the Mass Effect remaster. So how long ago was that now? That was a good while ago. Okay, so Dave Rivet is asking a question. He's asking us, how hyped are you both for Daniel Craig's last outing in less than a couple of weeks? Obviously, this is a question when we were going to do it a couple of weeks ago. He'd already booked tickets for himself and his daughter, who's a massive Bond fan. I think we've probably both answered that by now, haven't we?
I think we haven't probably heard it as well.
Yeah, probably heard it all. So, yeah, we've been really looking forward to it there, Dave. Do you want to do Lee?
So Lee Doherty's asking us, what's your most visually impressive 4K Blu-ray you've seen or owned? You can start with that one.
I'm going to say Flash Gordon in terms of the quality of the visuals because it is absolutely crystal clear.
I think for me it's going to be probably a newer film I'm going to go for, something like Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
And the visuals in that are just outstanding.
Yeah, but that's the film generally, though. It's visually quite a stunning film, isn't it?
Yeah, but the 4K Blu-ray is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know about older films. I mean, obviously, some of them are not true 4K, are they? Some of them.
Well,
I would say that. I tell you what is very impressive would be Star Trek. I've got the Star Trek box set. I'm talking about the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
They're very impressive with visually.
You know that Star Trek 2009. Is it 2000? The first one in the Kelvin timeline is actually 2K upscaled.
It does look well, but it does look good though still. And also the second one actually even more so, especially when you see Kirk and Bones running away from those guys. It's got all the white makeup on. Yeah,
that doesn't look too bad, but I was a bit disappointed with. I had the Blu-ray and then I got the 4K version. Just next to no difference between them. There really isn't. When you see when you see a normal Blu-ray upscaled, but yeah, I mean, I think the problem is that there's this weird thing with 4K movies where the really new stuff is 4K and the really old stuff is 4K, but there's this big group of time where it's where they started using digital cameras, but they were capturing stuff in 2K as opposed to 4, and those movies will never be 4K. Because you go back to like Flash Gordon, where you've got the original 35 or 70 mil film, they can be upscaled to 8 or 16K respectively. Whereas that middle era sort of stuff can't be upscaled other than through AI. Whereas like Flash Gordon, the original print could be captured in 4K. And another great one that I have, which I've got right here, is that one.
Okay.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
So what do you think of that one?
It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it goes to show as a testament to the practical effects that they did in this movie, how good they look even in 4K. It's like you look at Terminator 2, which you would think that would be the movie to have in 4K. It's not.
To be honest, that transfer got screwed. That's why it's not in the best condition you think it should be.
No, it's not good.
They took the transfer from the wrong transfer. They took it from a 3D transfer.
Yeah, it's
and
not
they didn't realise. Yeah,
it's not a good version of the movie, and it's very poor by 4K standards, and it really shows up the CGI as well. It makes it much more obvious. Whereas you look at 2001, that is such a clean movie. Yes, it does show where on one or two of the shots they had obviously done a painted thing on a bit of glass and moved it across the screen, which didn't show up in lower resolutions. But the shots of the Odyssey, wow, they look utterly fantastic. And the revolving set that they start off in and stuff like that, it's so clear. It's unbelievable. It really does look beautiful. And that was, of course, also the first movie that was aired in 16K, or 8K, rather, in Japan.
Yeah.
Or in the first movie to be aired at 8K, but it was aired in Japan. So, yeah, that's another great movie. But I found that a lot of the better cuts for 4K are the old ones, where they've really done a proper job of cleaning up the movie from the film, rather than a digital capture.
The thing looks really good.
Yeah.
I'd say Basic Instinct as well. That looks pretty amazing. That looks really crystal picture on that. When we're not talking more to do with the actual images, as in for what they are.
Yeah.
But
and Total Recall's quite a good cut.
Yeah, that is.
So there's a lot of good quality 4K sort of standards out there. But obviously, you need your HDR, Dolby Vision, all that sort of stuff as well. Dolby Atmos to get a good sound. So, should I do Lee's? Oh, sorry, not Lee's, Paul's, rather.
Right, Paul Wilson, the last question we have, he says, with the incredible sad news with regards to Sir Clive Sinclair passing, definitely a man with ideas of way ahead of his time. I can honestly say my first true love was the ZX Spectrum. Did you ever own a Sinclair product of any kind? Have you even been on the ride of a Sinclair C5 by any chance? Personally, none of this is in my ballpark. I had an Atari ST back in the day. That's what I had.
That was way after the Spectrum.
I know it was. Yeah, I know it was.
Later.
I was too busy getting drunk and going to nightclubs then.
I never had a ZX Spectrum. I was obviously quite young when these machines were out, and I did ask my mum and dad for Christmas could I have a ZX Spectrum. And I got a Commodore 64, which were technically the better machines, but the Spectrum had all of the software. It was a bit like modern console wars between the Spectrum and the 64, I think, even then. But I really wish I had a Spectrum because I did like them as machines. I'd used a few several times, but never had one, unfortunately. So just the way it goes. Never will. I thought about getting the Sam Coupe, which was like a re-engineered ZX Spectrum a few decades ago now that it was released. I think it was like mid-90s or something like that. But I never bothered going back. I think it's just probably a little bit too far back his Spectrum days as far as I'm concerned. Or 64. Don't really use either. So anyhow, that's it. That's the end of the questions for this week. So contact details, Steve. Do you want to do yours?
Yes. So Twitter @Steve007. My gamer tag is exactly the same as well, and my PS ID is the real Steve007, and my YouTube channel is the Vinyl Score. There you go. Look at that. Woohoo!
So for mine, it's HERJUK on everything apart from Epic, in which case it's Pop Culture Gamers. But if you want to follow us on Twitter as well, it's HERJUK. I am more of a posting stuff person rather than reading it, but if you're interested. Also, don't forget, we have our channel for the show, which is youtube.com/popculturegamers, our Twitter, Pop Culture Gamer, Facebook group as well. Come along, join the fun on there. And if you've got any queries, you can also email them at podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk. And also, don't forget our website, anchor.fm/popculturegamers.
And one little thing, breaking news on my emails, as I've been dealing with something here. On Netflix, coming on Tuesday, is another season of The Movies That Made Us.
All right, yeah.
Aliens, Halloween, Coming to America, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare Before Christmas, Elf, and RoboCop.
Okay, not the choice of movies I would have chosen for some of those, but...
But I thought Elf was already done, personally, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, well, maybe it's another director, so someone else has done it.
Yeah. This is season 3 coming on Tuesday.
Completely missed that one there, didn't you, Steve?
I know I did, yeah. I know, yeah. But I'm an angry elf. Anyway.
What elf is new?
Oh, God, really.
All right then, guys. So thank you all for listening. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. So it'll probably be around about the 24th, 25th that we'll get the show out. And other than that, it's a good night from me.
And a good night from him.
Good night.
Good night, guys.